Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Assetto Corsa Competizione here on RCI for the Monday finale for the Mini British GT. For one time, the final time. It's been such a favorite over the years, and no better place to end our run on Assetto Corsa than here, and no better place to start a season than in Northamptonshire at Silverstone. It's going to be a heck of a race. Driving numbers like we have not seen for quite some time, quite honestly. My name is Jack Mays. Joining me in the box tonight for the first time in a long time for a Monday is Mr. Ted Edwards, and of course, Ash Bibby is our man on the cams, making sure everything is pretty and obnoxious in the box. Ted, welcome back to Monday, and welcome to the Mini British GT. How are you feeling?
I am pretty excited due to the amount of cars we have here, and this has been a long time since I've done commentary without doing a broadcast at the same time, so I'm gonna have a lot more energy than I did on Friday.
That's good news. I'm sure you can already tell, I'm basically buzzing. I'm bouncing up and down in my chair. I'm just so enthused about this championship. I've had so much enjoyment on Monday streams and on ACC, and I'm glad that we've had so many names that have come out of the woodworks to join us. We are within the depths of qualifying. It's 21 minutes split by class, starting with the GT3s, ending with the GT4s. So they've been around circulating for a little while. And speaking of old names, well, this isn't an old name, but it certainly is an old car. It's Martin Lawrence championing the BMW M6, which I know is one of your favorites, Ted. And it's so good to see the classics. It's like classic GT racing among all the new stuff. He's gonna be quick though.
It's it's so good to see the old cars going back in, and they're actually quite competitive as well. We've got Dalton here in one of the V12s, one of the two that are on track. Rybecky's in the second one in 14th of the minute, the 127. And it's nice to see, because these cars, you know, like the V12, everyone uses at Bathurst for like one-offs or whatever, because it's super quick on the straights and you can't get through it on the mountain. But seeing the M6 back is a nice sight to see, due to Martin was always driving that in the Mini British GTs we did years ago, when I think RCI first started, and you know, that was before we had the new M4. I say new, it's the newest M4 that we have in this sim. And yeah, the M6 was so quick. It was so good at endurance racing. So, you know, here tonight with the 90-minute race for round one is going to be interesting to see how it does. Obviously, bops are a little bit different. I think we're using a custom bop. I don't know if it's our own custom bop, but it is a bop to help the older cars be competitive with the new and updated versions.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the BMW and the new BMW, this is the BMW M4 GT3 Evo, driven by McKenna McConnell. If anybody knows why I'm coughing, that's for you to know and for everyone else to find out. But it's good to see an old name that we haven't seen on circuit in a while. And, well, it's a pink racing machine, and pink cars are just awesome. Marco Badowski is the driver who's currently on provisional pole position with Team Monkey Racing in the Audi R8 LMS GT3 Evo 2, to give it its full legal name, and doing quite well in it. It is a handful and a half to drive. That is sort of its legacy on ACC, and well, doing well. 2/10 to the good of Andrzej Bacek, who is in second there, followed up by Tibor Roskem, Emo Plate, and Aaron Jackson for the top five. And curiously, I see, I was going to say I see a lack of a name, but there is a Joe Dauber who has put in a qualifying time, though I believe that is just a time representatively quicker than a GT4, Ted, so that he still gets to not qualify, but he doesn't have to start at the back of the grid.
Yeah, I think the GT4s, if I'm correct from remembering, they are 10 seconds slower on every track than the GT3, so there's about a second half quicker than those cars that will come out in 15 or so seconds time, a minute and 15 seconds time. So we'll see how they do. We've still got probably one more lap for the guys. Actually, no, it ends at 11, so this will be the last lap for the cars crossing the line. So we see Richard Whittle in the 488 Ferrari. God, it's nice to see that car again.
It is, and there's a few of them. Dauber's driving it around. I think Nico Kumpu is as well, and it looks like Nico Kumpu is joining Joe Dauber on the back row for the GT3s. He's set about an 8.5 second slower lap, but means that he'll be with Mr. Dauber. But Whittle's Wizards in the Ferrari. He comes across the line. 12th is going to be as good as they're going to be able to do. Hugo Gomez, another car driving the modern BMW M4, getting ready to come into the final sector of the circuits. And it's going to be interesting seeing the old bruisers and the new cars as far as the GT3s, but then seeing them interact with the GT4s in the beautiful, wonderful thing that is multi-class racing in just a little while. It's just going to be so exciting. This is also an 8-round championship, longer than our usual 4. It follows the the British GT calendar, this being the mini British GT. We also get different lengths for all of our races. Tonight, it's 90 minutes. There will be some 60-minute races and then some heat races where there will be 2 half-hour races for everybody to enjoy. And Tom Shipston in the Lexus, the missile, the ACC missile, that is the Lexus, deciding that 8th is good enough and time was not there, so let's do a bit entry practice. Just bit entry, you can't get very greedy on very easily, so smart to do that. But Mr. Edwards, it's GT4 time.
It is GT4 time, Jack, and we haven't seen these in a very long time. To be fair, for me, I haven't driven these for a while. I think the last one I did was around Silverstone in, I believe, the Aston Martin, which is sort of a mid-pack car. It's not the quickest, it's not the slowest, it's just comfortable. But they're all good to look at. They're all good to drive. I know this McLaren, the brake bias is very odd on this car. You can set it to what you want, but it's sort of got it adjusts itself in the braking zone. It's very weird. Never got on with it. But we do have some Maseratis in here. We've got some Ginettas. We've got some Audis. There is one BMW, which is quite nice to see. The older M4 BMW.
The non-big schnauzer BMW.
The non-big schnauzer, yeah. And it's very loud. Quite a screamy car.
Surprisingly so. But Les Stevenson, the Roker Poker, back on circuits in a Ginetta. This is by the way, the only car I've ever driven in RCI competition on ACC was the Ginetta GT4. So good to see a couple more of them out. It's incredibly popular among lots of our British drivers. Tom Watts back as well. Hasn't, by his own account, touched ACC in a long while. And it sounded like he was struggling to get up to pace, but Tom Watts also is a modest gentleman, so could just be lying about their lap times, and we'll see whether they're going to be quick. But 36 cars is going to be mega. There's, I believe, we're at about 48, I think, on signups. There's a couple reserve spots that have been filled for GT3s that have been very popular this time around, but I'm crossing my fingers that maybe the perfect track combo, maybe race length combo as well, Ted, is going to bring a full 40 plus car grid.
Yeah, I'd be pretty nuts if we can get that. We haven't seen that for quite a while now, but it's good to see the turnout for the last ACC championship here at RCI. It's quite a shame, but we have to move with the times, and we don't want to keep running something that's going to end up dying out and only have five drivers turn up to each season. So it is good to see everyone coming back, even the older names coming back and giving it a good go again, especially in some of the older cars, which is good to see. Obviously, no older cars in the GT4s, but has been a bit wobbly with the BOPs in the past. And again, I believe there is a custom BOP for these cars because some of them were a bit overpowered. The Porsche was really, really good, and then it sort of dropped off in the latter patches of ACC. Ginetta's a very good car as well. Not great on the straights, but get it in some corners. God, it's a machine.
Absolutely, and seeing this this paint scheme, livery scheme on the car is it's weird that it's making me nostalgic for LMU, given that LMU is absolutely the up and comer. Well, it's beyond the up and comer at this point, but I'm used to seeing Callum's name and Callum's pink car around LMU, but it's back into ACC where he's jumped into. Oh, good. We have to do quick maths at our favorite subject. We have to do quick math to determine where everybody is in terms of GT4 field, but I'll save that for later. Maserati of Martin Schaefer coming across the line, and
All three of them.
I was gonna say all of them in one single shot. Beautiful. I had no idea this car existed, and I'm a bit disappointed. I'm a Maserati. I'm somebody who likes a Maserati. Some of the great engines that have been made in road cars, and this being no exception. And I've heard stories, Ted. It's quick, but it's got a bit of a unique feature. Feel free to tell the ladies and gentlemen about.
Yeah, so it doesn't have any TC. I don't believe it has any ABS either, so it's a handful. I tried driving it once. I didn't take it in a race. I wasn't brave enough, but I did some practicing and I couldn't hold that thing anywhere. Like, it's such a difficult car to drive, but you know, I'm just heavy-footed. We both know that, Jack. I'd like to plant the foot a bit too quickly, but yeah, they are a rocket. I think we had a Maserati in one of the champions. I don't know if it was a GT4 or it was a mini British GT, and it won the championship in the GT4s. So it is quick, and it's still quick in the wet, which is quite surprising since no TC in the wet, even with wet tyres, is pretty dangerous. But yeah, it's a cool car to see. It's a nice car to listen to. Same goes for the Alpine. It's a little bit dull on the side, but it's quite a pretty car. Driven this car a few times. Got told it was really good. Turns out after the first round of a championship, it got bopped, and it was very slow. So we'll have to see how it does here today. The only Alpine in the field, I believe, especially at this race today. So.
Yeah, I do believe, and Sebastian Picano is on provisional pole, and from the team name, it would suggest that they were one of the drivers that took on the Alpine Esports Track Racer Series. That was, gosh, at this point, it was probably 6+ months ago, and so I would anticipate quick things from Picano, Henrik SC in the normal nosed M4 GT4. That to me is it just sort of looks more like a road car than just about any other GT4 car. It looks quite tall.
Yeah.
Wing, canards. It's a race car now.
Henrik's just brought his road car along. That's literally
no paint as well.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, it is a gorgeous car though. It's a shame that they've gone for the big noses, but you know, designs change over the years, and that's what BMW have gone for. Here, an Audi is a difficult car from what I remember. To get it quick going around the track.
It's got the
I could agree with that.
V10.
Well, the only GT4 car, Jack, that I've not seen here is a Camaro.
Oh, and how sad you are about that. I know there's a couple signed up, but none here tonight.
Yes. Oh god, it just whines. It's so nice. I mean, if I wasn't commentating today, I'd be driving that car today.
You thought about it.
I did.
About it, but you decided that your talents are better spent elsewhere.
I would definitely be in a wolf.
Thus are in the box here tonight. For at least, well, I'd say at least tonight. Perhaps there will be a 3 wide in the box evening, because as we teased on Friday's stream, a special guest will be returning to the box next week, as well as will be on for Friday this week. Many people know who I'm referring to, but I will still leave it at special guest. We're excited to have them back. Bruno Fantozzi, TF Sports Aston Martin Vantage. Weirdly enough, when I see these cars, I want to call them AMGs, not because I think they're Mercedes, but I think AMR and then AMGs. I don't know. A bit. I think I'm just a bit stupid, I think is all that is. But Bruno is currently in the mid-ish pack of the GT4 cars, and the Aston being one of the newest GT4s is I know little to nothing about it.
It's decent. Like I say, it's like a mid-pack car. Saying that though, Andy Boardman in third at the moment. The Alpine in first. Hello. Hold up a minute. That's interesting to see. So let's see the time. So first place did a 2-minute 9 dead, followed by a 2-minute 9.5 from Damon, and then Andy's done a 2-minute 9.5 as well. Well, 2-minute 9.6. So it's sort of close to the top end. There's still half a second to gain to try and take the pole position away in GT4s, as the timer has now hit 0, so that everyone around the track is their last lap. Everyone who's light blue, as you can see on the track map there on the right hand side, have invalidated their lap times, I do believe.
I do believe
you see a
you're
car
right.
off in the background there.
Yeah, I think they were just getting out of the way and maybe doing a nice gentle in lap, a bit of pit lane practice, and at the moment, 4 different manufacturers all in the top 4. One of my favorite things to see in racing. It means that everybody's reasonably competitive, and it will be a very good fight. Augusto Floriano in the Aston Martin as well, seeming to be one of the more popular choices for those running at the lower end of the field, or well, the lower end of the field in terms of qualifying position, but the higher end of the field in terms of pace. Augusto running into pit lane to end their qualifying session, but I think we're going to see a flurry of lap times, but it is Andy Boardman is sort of the last of the front runners looking to improve. Marion Safsara, one of the brace of AMGs that are running around, but going reasonably well in 30th overall, but towards the backpack of the GT4s, it looks like Marianne is going to be going down pit lane, as they do, but times have not changed so much at the front of the field that I can see, but naturally the session has ended, which naturally means I get to play the game of how good are my name pronunciations, as I'm going to run you through the qualifying results for the first round of the Mini British GT. Martin Lawrence is at the top of the field. Not a surprise, if I'm honest, but in the M6 is such a good effort. Marco Badowski joining him on the front row. Emil Plate is in third. Tibor Roskam fourth. Andre Batek in fifth. Aaron Jackson sixth. Hugo Gomez seventh. Tom Shifston eighth. McKenna McConnell in ninth. William Stevenson in the Jag is in 10th. Matt Moore is in 11th. Richard Withel is in 12th. John Dalton, 13th. Wojciech Rybecki, 14th. Joe Dauber, 15th. And Nico Kumpu in 16th for the GT3s. Them, of course, starting on the back row by choice. Probably. Sebastian Picano stayed on pole position in the GT4 field. Damon Wareham joins them on the front row for the GT4s. Andy Boardman stayed third. Anton Klimov is in fifth in GT4. Mike Redford, sixth. Martin Schaefer, seventh. TT Grosmine in eighth. Mario Sergio in ninth. Bruno Fantozzi, 10th. Augusto Floriano in 11th. Henrik S.D. in 12th. Callum Kerrigan, 13th. Les Stevenson, 14th. Gianni Lenz, 15th. Marion Satsara, 16th. Kevin Boss, Tom Watts, Damian Lowe, Sander Van Couter, and Ferry Chirka are the rest of the field. I don't know what number I ended off on. Numbers are hard. But that is qualifying Ted, and I didn't stumble. And there's a lot of new names in there, so I'm proud of myself.
I was just looking at the BOP that has been added to the cars, and the Porsches are got plus 25 kgs of weight added. So that's probably why they're a bit slow. Which I was correct. They have had the BOPs been added to those cars. I know the Marko Badowski's Audi there has had some weight added. This M6 has had 30 kgs taken off. So it's quite a few GT3s that have weight taken off, and I think that's all mostly the older cars and the Lexuses, because the Lexus is shocking if it's got no weight taken off added. It is horrendously slow. Um, so it's quite nice that the BOP looks pretty equal across the board. So we should see some good racing. Good old Nissan. Send
Good
less,
old
no, send
Nissan.
more. Send more, I say.
Yeah, the patented Ash Baby grid walk, and this might be one of the best grids that I've yet seen with this grid walk that Baby does. Look
Jag.
at that! Look at that Jag! That is
Got the Union Jacks on there.
100%. Oh, that is 100% a car I will be rooting for throughout the series. I normally don't pull favorites, but it's the Jag. I have to pull favorites. But this grid looks
Look at
excellent. The
these
two
two.
V12s in the background, ready to hear them scream.
That's
Down
Rybecky's
every
livery,
single
and there's
straight. Martin,
oh.
well, no, it's the Lorik's redemption, as it says on the winglet. But Martin Lorik isn't in this car, so perhaps that was a livery designed for him.
It
Got a
was,
blacked
yeah.
out 488, and I think that's Nico.
It's a Connection Lost Racing livery.
Oh, there we are. But now we're on to the GT4s, the Maserati. They're looking pretty quick. We got a couple of them in the top sort of 6 or 7 cars. Mike Redford. And weirdly, I'm sort of used to seeing this. He doesn't have his championships on top of that
I was
car.
about to say it's just a standard in-game livery. What's
Yeah.
happened, Mike? What's happening there? You normally have all your winnings and stuff all over your car, which is quite surprising.
There's the Track Day M4, I think is I'm gonna call that.
It literally is, yeah.
There's Callum and Les Stevenson. The Roca Poca is back. With, of course, a very
Jesus
classic
Christ.
image on top of the car.
I saw that live, by the way. I saw that live.
I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. The AMGs, though, I have to admit, not looking terribly strong if qualifying is anything to go off of. The Monday Gang, the Kevin Boss, is, possibly the last time this livery may ever be run. Or it probably will be, at least for Mondays. I can tell you, and I have been instructed to say such, this is not the end of ACC forever on RCI. There are ideas for things in the future, but as far as a Monday championship, which ACC is sort of known for around here, this is the very end. Yes, let's see more of that, Ash. Yes, please haunt my dreams further.
You on about the Monday Gang? Viewers at home, we have a Discord voice channel for the Monday drivers that they can join, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 12 drivers from this grid in that voice call now.
That's awesome. I don't think that voice channel's been populated in a long time. I love that.
No, it hasn't. It used to be like that every single race a couple of years ago. Doesn't matter if it was Mini British GT, Ginetta Cup, Porsche Cup, whatever it was on a Monday, there was people in there, and there's a lot of people in there. There's some old names in there. There's a lot of our staff members in there at the minute. So we're going to see some fighting here between those guys, and I think we might see some team plays happen. We'll also obviously spot out who might be working with who, but we'll get to that when we do, as they set off for the formation and ready for the hour-and-a-half race. Jack, do you want to go over the pit requirements for today's race?
Oh man, I could. I'm so glad that I just pulled them up, so I'm fully ready. There are different requirements for each of our race lengths, this being one of the 90-minute affairs. There are 2 mandatory pit stops with tire changes mandated in both. There is a 40-minute pit window, so Ted and I we talked about this before the series went underway. It means that everybody's sort of on the same kind of strategy. There is a narrow time where you can reasonably make your call, but I'm sure, as always, somebody's going to pull some sort of different strategy effort that we'll see play out. And I talked about the 4 different manufacturers in top 4 in the GT4 class, but well, not that they're all different manufacturers, but we've got 7 different cars in the top 7, which is even
Kevin
better.
Boss was stuck on the start grid, and he just got moving, and now because he's too far away, he's just been sent to the pit lane.
Oh no!
So he will be starting from pit lane for this race.
That's a bit of a kneecap and a half for the man who puts this event on. Kevin, of course, is our event manager for Mondays. There's something poetic about it. I feel like there's a bit of poetic irony to the final round of the finale of ACC. Something happens and he ends up with a pit lane start. I don't know. You be the judge at home, but as it stands, it is definitely a less than ideal start for Kevin. But it's 90 minutes. It's 2 pit stops. That is a lot of time to catch back up.
Yeah.
And of course, the multi-class element.
We sort of worked it out. It's going to be in thirds. So you do your first stint, you switch, you do your pit stop, which you have to take tyres at both pit stops, and you have to take the 1 litre of fuel at both. So they'll be both taking tyres at each one, obviously. So the first one you'll switch, and then I think it's like 20 minutes later you'll do the next one, or whatever it is. I can't remember exactly how long into the race it was.
It's pretty much pitting at 30 minutes each, every 30 minutes.
There we go.
Roundabout.
Yeah, so
would be the way to equally split it up.
So
will that be the strategy?
I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Like, I think that is the optimal strat, because I don't think you want to be running. You have to run into the pit window to do it, because if you pit before the window opens, it doesn't count. You're just doing a pit stop. So we'll see what happens. We've got 2 more corners for the lead of GT3s before they get to the main straight to start the race, and then we'll see if there's...
Let the carnage ensue.
Yeah, basically, and we'll see if people need to pit early to prepare.
Yeah, and just catching up.
So glad there's ghosting.
Oh yeah, it's not. This isn't LMU. There's no full contact all the time. No, you just don't have to worry about that. But catching up on the YouTube chat briefly before we get going, because I did a terrible job. I forgot to have it in front of me before we were going. Hi Zeno, you said specifically hi to us. We say specifically hi back to you. Redford also saying, I wonder which McConnell really is in that car. Cough, cough, I don't know. And Redford making a good point that these cars are not 10 seconds slower on the N24.
Okay.
They're a bit more than that, which is fair. But we are moments from going underway for the Mini British GT for the final time. It's going to be Martin Loring taking the flag, bringing us underway for what is going to be an absolutely electric championship. He's off to an excellent launch, both him and Badowski, leaving the rest of the field in the dust. But it is Martin Loring taking it off easy, breezy, and beautiful into Maggots and Beckett's. A little bit of movement here and there. Under Spatzak looked like he was under a little bit of pressure from another Lexus, but holding it firm for the moment. Everybody very clean and this helicopter shot. It's so pretty. You can see everybody lining up. Maggots and Beckett's is not really a corner. You don't want to go too wide in if you can. It looks like there's a run for the BMW in the back of shot, but Spatzak is holding steady in third for the moment as the timing tower goes absolutely crazy. But once the cars are through the first sector, that's a little deep for the Lamborghini, but all good. Everybody's stacking up into the Vale chicane, but no incidents really to speak of, Ted, outside of the straggler that is Mr. Kevin Boss.
That's true. We've got a replay here with Callum Kerrigan in the GT4 in that pink Ginetta, and just a bit ping pong through turn 1. Maybe tyres not up to temperature. And we do have another one.
I'm not sure who it is.
Is that the Porsche on the McLaren?
Touch. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a little touch. Nothing
love
crazy.
Bumps.
Yeah.
And for a 36 car grid, for there to only be 2 bits of contact to speak of, it's a great start. But as we say that, of course, another one has to happen.
That wasn't a love bump.
That was not a love bump. I think that was Rosenmine in the 570S into the back of Schaefer in the Maserati, I do believe. But it looks like down the Wellington Straights, it's Callum Kerrigan making his way up on lens in the Maserati. The Porsche behind of Tom Watts maybe having a look, but still getting shot just enough so that we're not going through. But Callum not making any friends on the start, already making his way up. Tom Shipston, who we're on board with now, is in the hunt. The mighty Jag that's in front is, well, I don't think we've mentioned this fully, Ted. It is the slowest car here by a reasonable margin, and is sort of famously
put
slow.
it around Bathurst though.
Is it quick at Bathurst?
Oh, it's quick. It's not as quick as the V12 Aston, but if you have a low downforce setup, then you are zooming, because you don't need the downforce for the mountain. Yeah, you need a little bit, I guess, for the left-handers, but you can just hold people up because they're going to overtake you. You just you don't close the door on them, you just hold like the sort of middle of the circuit and they just can't get past you, especially on the downhill section, and then you get to the straights and you can just blitz away. So yeah, we'll have to see how Will does. Will is a very good driver on ACC.
Absolutely.
So see how he handles the car as we see the Ferrari in front on the BMW.
Yeah, it's differences in.
Joe Dobber getting sideways.
I was gonna say, these cars haven't been driven in such a long time. That was John Dalton. I know that is Dauber ahead. I wasn't expecting Dauber to be up to 13th already, but it is Joe Dauber after all. He's gonna make a heck of a start. Nico Kopu is up to 9th from the very back of the grid as well. So these two, well, they're showing their stuff. You know, Fezes and having a great time up it, but. That does beg the question about the Jag that Redford was saying.
In pit lane. So he did come.
SC with Les Stevenson. It's the Roker Poker versus the Track Day Hero. A bit of a moment into Stowe, but Les ending up on the better end of that, and SC needs to lose a whole lot of positions, but now he's falling back into the clutches of the other Ginetta of Callum Kerrigan. I don't know why I've just become DJ7.
McLaren on Alpine. Alpine gets squeezed out a little bit.
That's actually at the front of the field. That was, I think, a change for the lead. Yeah.
Oh, it was.
David Wareham
correct.
On Picano for the lead in the first 5 minutes. So a tidy-ish move. A little bit of bumping in these GT4 cars is just that's racing. That's GT4 racing.
Yeah.
Rubbing is part of it. These cars sort of having less downforce. As Tom Shipston's looking into Stowe on the Jag. Stevenson trying to hold it out around the outside, but the circuit's going to go back left for the Vale chicane. I think Stevenson's going to hold on to this for the moment. He does, but that opens the door for Joe Dauber.
There was a tap there, I believe.
I think there was. I think Shipston went to the back, and Dauber, right place, right time, on through, and well, the fight for Will Stevenson just got a little bit harder because Joe Dauber is very fast.
I don't know. Actually, I can check for us to see if that. Let's have a look. Will has minus 30 kg, whereas the Ferrari behind is the same on minus 30. So we'll see how them two fight. The car with the most kg added is the Audi, followed by the McLaren 720S, who's down in 50 in the GT3 field.
Sebastian Picano is going for some very alternate lines to try to find his way through on Damon Wareham. That was actually really, really well done because, well, he sort of had a run onto the Wellington straight, but I think the 570S does seem to have the legs on the Alpine just a bit. It seems like the Ginetta, very good in the corners, not very good in a straight line. But Sebastian Picano, that is a great level of skill. Oh yeah,
Matt
somebody's
Moore.
off.
Matt Moore.
Did we just lose a Matt Moore?
I wouldn't say the last corner, but the kink before, well, the kink here, it went off to the left. Kevin Boss is back out on track in front of the GT3s. Not sure why he came into pit lane. That Alpine going sideways.
Yep. Here's Matt Moore. Is he
Uh,
gonna get a kiss? Or it's just a little
Ooh,
kiss?
that was. But is there going to be more? Because
Oh.
uh,
Oh. So
wheel-
Matt Moore,
wheel?
they're turning. Yeah, not really.
he didn't turn. That's the thing. He just went straight.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Was that John Dalton that he ended up coming into contact with? As Dauber seems to have gotten his way ahead of.
No, that was right. So Rybecky
That was
is
Rybecky.
in the CLR car.
Yeah. So it was Rybecky who gave him a little nudge on the return, just not really taking the corner.
Yeah.
Was the McLaren. So that's an interesting one. Another bit of a replay. This was Dauber getting through on Stevenson, and they're coming side to side out of the Vale chicane again onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. Elbows out all day, every day. Dauber is in the top 10 from 15th. So 8 minutes, 5 positions. If he keeps this up, he'll be leading the race before the pit stops.
Roscam looking at the rear end of Badowski. Martin Lorenc has gained 2 seconds over second place and has the fastest lap of the session so far. So Martin's doing Martin things in the M6 as he always does. Even when we did Mini British GT in the past, Jack, Martin would join in the M6 and everyone else is in the newer cars and he would still blitz them. Which is quite funny.
He's so quick. He is
so
quick on ACC. He's now like fully gotten up to speed on LMU as well, and is now one of the quickest guys.
Scary.
Scary is a great word. Martin Lorenc in GT3 machinery, even if it's 10 years out of date, is just well, actually, I guess the M6 at this point is probably well outside of 10 years. It's probably closer to 20 years out of date.
I think it was one of the first. I don't know if it's one of the first, but it's definitely one of the early cars. When the game was
on Stevenson just then. It just seems that when the circuit's full of other GT cars, Jag just begins to fall back.
Yeah.
Just a bit. Its lack of pace is becoming
It's also
apparent.
a longer track, a lot of straights.
Yeah.
Get it around Donington, Brands Hatch. It might work out well.
It's the coolest car here, though, bar none. I don't care what you say. And the beautiful thing is, if you drive a Jag, you're always a winner because you drive a Jag. Shipston's ahead of on what probably felt like a bit of a moving chicane, as Kevin Boss is going to be the first GT4 to be overtaken for whatever reason. I'm sure we'll have an answer at some point for why he ended up in pit lane so soon.
I never saw a yellow flag because he did come out of pit lane behind the GT4s once it was green. That's when he can be released once everyone's across the start-finish line. He came out, went round. I don't know if he did 1 or 2 laps, and then I just see him in pit lane, which was interesting.
Potential theory. There's no truth to it, as it is just a theory. But I'm wondering if he was having some issues getting off the grid line, maybe something was going wrong. Maybe he wasn't able to change his setup before the race and still had 10 minutes of fuel for qualifying. So he may have started with too little fuel and was just like, well, I need to get more fuel. So I don't know. That is my theory.
Well, he hasn't done a pit stop.
Elbows out. McKenna McConnell getting shoved as wide as they can out of Stowe.
Nico
Kumpu.
Yeah.
It's the fastest hands in the West, cough cough, versus Nico Kumpu in the Ferrari as Kumpu gets through on the Vale chicane. You see, I was trying to keep it a secret, but at this point, there's no hiding it.
If you know, you know. That's it.
If you know, you know. Absolutely. But great work from Nico Kumpu to get. I mean, look at those hands. It's just, I feel like we've seen that somewhere before, and in a BMW no less. Nico Kumpu scything their way through the field, all the way up into 6th. That was talking about how Joe Dauber's done well to get up. Well, Nico Kupu said, "Oh, cool, you did 5 positions? I've done 10. Keep up, old man." I have no idea who's younger between the two. I don't know. Just making, that's my theory. Not a lot of theories today.
I don't think much has really changed in the GT4 field. Matt Morrison in the box. What am I about? I just saw the name pop up and I was like, oh, into the pit lane. No, they were in the pit lane from the crash earlier on, unfortunately. But looking at Schaefer here, trying to overtake the Porsche on the outside now. Going into the chicane, and will they get it done? They'll definitely get a better line for the next one. Yeah, easily done on Tom Watts. I'm just amazed at how these guys can drive the Maserati as they do, because I cannot.
I probably couldn't either. I mean, I can't drive anything in ACC, which is why I stay away. But up at the front, you say nothing's changed. There was a change for the lead a bit earlier on, but beyond that, nothing has changed. They're basically nose to tail. Sebastian Picano trying to pick their way through on Wareham. Not my best work, I'm sorry. But it's just, I think, Ted, I think
Sorry.
that the 570S is just quicker in a straight line. They seem
no doubt
reasonably equal in corners, but like, I mean, we'll see here. The national pitch straight that they've gotten onto now, yeah, gap just opens up immediately, and that's just going to make it difficult.
Oh god, I remember driving this Alpine and it is very rear happy. Like there's like no grip there. I'm gonna say that the wing's been taken off to try and get the straight line speed, and obviously with the toe keeps them in the fight. But this reminds me of, I don't know if you've seen it, Jack, but over here in the UK they do a classic race and there's like big V8 Mustangs, the old V8 Mustangs, and then the classic Mini Cooper S's. Oh, and the Alpine reminds me of the Mini Cooper S, slow on the straight but really quick in the corners. And then obviously the McLaren is the Mustang, quick on the straights, but
way
not
more
great.
Appropriate if it was a Camaro, though.
It's true.
Way more appropriate if it was a Camaro. Maybe Camaro versus Ginetta, if we're talking like
that Camaro. I've driven that so many times. It is so slippy on that rear, but it's quick on the straights. It is a bunch of fun, and you feel like you're in like a G-Wagon because you're so high up compared to everyone else.
Mike Redford's doing really, really well. He's up in 4th in GT4, 19th overall. As this may be another moment for Nico Kupu. It's McKenna. I'm doing air quotes. Coming back at no, this is the replay we just saw, but just from the offboard. That was the moment we saw a couple laps ago. But Kupu, he's flying. That may be the 488, the predecessor to the 296. But oh my, this thing is getting absolutely dragged around the circuit because Kupu is now looking to enter the top 5 already in this race. It is superb stuff, but old spec versus old spec, as it's the GTR versus the 488. It's like watching 2 old men in a retirement home get into a fist fight.
It sure is. Leaders coming up onto the back of the number 25 in the GT4 class. They did have a spin in the yellow flag a while ago, I think a lap or 2 ago. Not sure what happened there. But they will soon be on to the rear end of the GT4 field, and that's when they got to filter through the traffic, and not always easy when they're doing their own race. Obviously, blue flags are just there to say there is a faster car. Doesn't mean you have to move out of the way like in Formula 1. It's just that the faster class car has to make a move on the slower class. The slower class stays on their racing line and be predictable as much as they can. Whereas Martin Lawrence still 2.3 seconds ahead, just chilling, not really bothered.
Predictable.
About,
I would argue, he's being predictable. He's winning by a margin. But that was the number 25 of Sander Van Kouter, that Porsche that he just overtook. There's sort of been stragglers appearing in the GT4 field. A couple of cars sort of lapped down already. I'm not sure what's occurred with everybody, but it does seem that GT4s are having a trickier day to start than most of the GT3 field. Augusto Floriano is now under threat from the track day M4 GT4. It's just so, like, look at how out of place it looks in this shot.
Yeah.
It's just a guy in his, it's just a dentist in his M4. And, but, I don't know, I'm very much here for it. That's Henrik SC, of course, our track day hero. Schaefer trying it around the outside and maybe making it stick through Village as they go into the loop, as it's known. They're still going to be side by side, but it's pretty much going to be who got the better exit, who's got more top speed, and it seems that Henrik has gotten out of shape and into the grass, and all that momentum's been lost. And Schaefer is going to take that with open arms, but to lose so much momentum that they are now under threat with Tom Watts behind them. They are losing positions kind of hand over fist at the start of this race.
We've got a replay here of Sander in the number 25. Just a bit of rub with Nico Kumpu.
Yeah. Nothing to write home about, but a little bit of a touch, maybe thinking there was only one car coming through. Sort of, it's not getting any easier.
Hello.
Though, having a sniff.
So now GTR should be quick in a straight line, but I haven't.
It is. Look at it go. Look at it go.
There it is.
Gone.
And then Ferrari come back in the corners, maybe? Oh, no, not really. Kumpu got a bad entry. T1's pretty tricky to get the entry in, because if you fling it in too hard, then the rear wants to come around and you start drifting a little bit. Actually, that Nissan's doing pretty well to do Magnus and Beckett's. As a Ferrari, it looks like it's struggling a little bit. I think Nico is really pushing that car to its limit.
Could be. He's found his sort of match here. Challenging descenders. Descend from Nico Kumpu, getting really close.
Going up on some GT4 traffic jacks. This is going to be interesting now with these cars behind.
Yep.
I think Joe's looking for a move on McConnell in the background as well. The gold 488.
Yeah, so it's now become a four-way fight. We've got Dauber on McKenna.
It's traffic.
There's the AMG on the inside.
AMG
it's kind of a good place.
Out of the way.
Yeah, that's a good
the
place.
Indicator was on, brakes are on. I'm not getting involved. Oh, Nissan sideways.
Sideways for both of them. Just about. Here comes McKenna McConnell down into Village, and it's going to have the inside for the loop. Kumpu's trying to close the door, but there is no door that can be closed. It's coming out of the corner. See, now here's where we can really see Old versus New. Who's got the higher speed? No, it's the Maserati. He's been boxed in. Joe Dauber managed to squeeze by. Dauber might get 2 out of 1 here, as they're alongside with McKenna. On the brakes is Joe Dauber, and amazingly, through all the traffic, Dauber has ended up through on Kumpu, but here comes Kumpu back again. A bit of door banging all the way through, and
oh god,
3 cars. Kumpu looking like maybe he's going to back out a little bit. No, he's going to keep his nose in. It's the fight between the cars that started on the back of the grid. It's Kumpu versus Dauber, and on the straight, Dauber's gone through. He's setting the fastest lap as well, and very confident, but a very slippy a little bit out on the outside. This is what we're here for.
Track day car in the way as well.
Oh,
what's going to happen with the Porsche?
Separating the 2 Ferraris as Kumpu's forced into the grass.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he's come back onto the circuit out of nowhere. There's 2 GT4s that are fighting, or excuse me, no, that's the GT4, the Maserati with the Nissan is the GT3. Oh my God, we're here. We've made it. This is it. This is ACC at its best. I'm so excited right now. I need a breath.
I would say I would like to have a look on the onboard, but there's so much fighting going on through all 4 of these cars that we can't keep an eye on all of them. Whereas Kumpu goes for a move on Dauber in the background. Does it work? No, it doesn't. Switch back. No, Dauber keeps the car on the apex. Nissan gets slowed up by the generator on the exit. Can the BMW get on? No. Better exit, probably better entry. This is where the Nissan was sideways last time.
For the Ferraris. Here they come into Village again. Kumpu's got the inside. Dauber, though, he's going to try to hang it around, but no, he's not got the grip. He's not got the line, and Kumpu shuts the door. Oh, this is absolutely mega. Aaron Jackson, though, of the 4 of these cars, has had to work the least. They've sort of just been like, okay, we're just gonna keep on keeping on. I'm just not gonna look in the rearview mirror. But I would be glued to the rearview mirror just watching the fight because it was so good. But McKenna, McConnell, cough, after all of that, has made their way back up ahead of both of the Ferraris. Wow, look at that steering correction. Super quick. Bit of a flash for Les Stevenson. And back onto the national pit straight. You can see in that virtual mirror, Kumpu going sort of a bit aggressive, getting the mirrors a bit, saying, hey, look at me, don't look at the corner ahead of me. Ooh, out of
Yes, I'm getting a good exit.
I was going to say, Connell looking quite good at the moment. I do not think, Ted, this is going to stop anytime soon, and I'm so happy.
I think we're going to lose our voice. We've still got an hour and 7.5 minutes left, Jack. I think our voices are going to be gone.
And we're the 2 people that claim we're like, oh, we can't wait to do endurance racing where we get to talk for 6 hours, and we're out here expending everything. 3 wide down towards the hangar straight is. It's been deep for the Lexus, but here comes Emma Plate. He broke him in early and turned in and just was able to get through on those guys. He said 3-1, bad idea. Here's a better idea. I'm going to let them crash, and I'm going to take this position back. So super well done from Emma Plate in the Lamborghini, and a bit of Shipston into a bit of Shipston into a bit of Gomez. But Emma Plate in the standard iron links machine, though I don't think you can improve on that livery. It is fair enough to run it. Has retaken 10th, but has fallen back from upwards of 5th, I believe, or 3rd place, I think, is actually where Emma Plate started. So it's been a tricky start, Ted, but not a boring one. I don't think anybody in this field right now, which I'm excited to say, save for maybe a couple who are in the Dalton zone, are having fun. I think everybody out here is really having a good time and just reveling in the multi-class madness.
Yeah, well, Kevin Boss, we've seen, is back on track. Augusto Floriano in the 59 is in the pit lane for the last 2 laps. I'm not sure as to why. The number 9 in GT4 did pit on lap 6 with a 43.4 second pit stop. Not sure what that is. Maybe, like you say with Kevin, maybe had the wrong fuel in the car from qualifying. So they probably had to just fuel it with fuel. Still have to do their 2 mandatory stops, so that does not count because the pit window is not open.
Yeah, it's oh, dude, that's Dauber. Dauber is round, and what? Beckett's at Beckett's. What has happened? Let's see. Just losing on a curve.
Lost it on the. Yep.
Oh
no, that's McKenna. Oh, the lamp! Oh my god, that is race driver reaction right there.
That's superb. Emma Plate. I think that was actually Shipston that went into the back of Dauber. I think that was a Lexus. I think it was Tom Shipston that went into Dauber, but the car was unsettled. I think lots of dirty air coming from Baggett's and Beckett's, and he tried to catch the slide, but as the weight transferred back over, oldies. 3 wide, the 2 oldies, the 2 straight line heroes. It's John Dalton, speaking of the Dalton zone. He knows of no such thing because he's in a fight with Will Stevenson. This is like the most picture-perfect battle, I feel like, that like justifies the series' existence. You get to see these 2 cars. Yes.
Yeah, and these 2 cars are so balanced. One's really quick on the straight line. One's the Jag's really good on the brakes and through the corners. And just watch the V12 now.
The missile knows where it is at all times.
It's going.
It's going.
And it's not
on the brakes.
As of yet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
As you spoke, the Jag on the brakes, but they're so even.
Yeah.
Coming out of the corner. Dalton's going to have them.
Dalton had the inside.
Oh, Dalton in pit lane. Pit window's open, of course.
I didn't even hear it.
I forgot.
As I spoke about it,
such a thing existed.
It opened.
Yeah, Dalton came through.
Redford's in, Dalton's in, so Redford in the GT4's the 95, McLaren, Dalton's in the 899, V12 in the GT3 class. These three are still fighting, getting through traffic. It's not going to calm down anytime soon, is it, Jack?
No, I don't. Good. I don't.
You already ran out of words.
I want for nothing. I want for nothing except for more of this. This has just been everything I've wanted and more. It almost begs the question: why are we stopping ACC when there's a myriad of reasons? And one of them being it's a bit outdated and missing.
The Alpine is 5 seconds in front of the McLaren GT4 class, by the way. I don't know when that happened, but they have gone. So I don't know. So the Alpine and the McLaren were quite far ahead. I don't know how far from third place.
Yep.
But maybe.
Oh wait, that's
hello.
I think that is Warehams McLaren. Yeah.
So yeah, so the Alpine's already. Yeah, the Alpine's already in front at that stage, so I'm gonna guess the McLaren, maybe Alpine and McLaren had an incident, or the McLaren span on its own, or had a slide at least, because it's only 5 seconds.
There's a possibility they got caught out in traffic as well, but they did just go into the back of Nico Kumpu, as we just saw. So Kumpu now carrying damage on their Ferrari.
Their lap times are similar. 2:10.1 last lap, and it was 2:11.8. Actually, that's not very similar, is it? I read that completely wrong. I read that completely wrong, Jack. That's
a lifetime. That's second and a half. That's a lifetime.
Yep. Math isn't my strong point.
I know. Look at the front of that McLaren. It's stoved in now. I think Dan Wareham's lost. Damon Wareham, has lost a bit. Boardman now, he's sort of been abiding his time. You can see 7.5 seconds at the start of this lap. That McLaren seems to be going a bit backwards, and Andy Boardman says, "Excuse me, Mr.
That McLaren did a 2:12.9 compared to the 2:10.2 of Meccano. So that McLaren must have some damage other than the front damage, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, maybe there was a GT3 that maybe tapped them at some point in the traffic. I mean, there was so much going on. It looks like there might be a moment where for V12, I think that's Rybecki.
That is Rybecki, yep.
On the back of somebody, Richard Whittle. I'll get there. Everybody's in a new car this season, so it's difficult.
So we've had some people pit. We've had Bidowski pit, Kumpu pit, and Shipson pit in the GT3 class. We got Mario Sergio in the GT4s, with Hendrick in his track day BMW, and Damien Lowe in the GT4s. So we'll see. Once everyone's done their first pit, we'll see where everyone comes out, and we'll have a look at the pit stop times. I can already see one pit stop time is a very long one.
Yeah, there's a couple outliers. For the most part, though, it seems like that like a 1:06 is a normal full service stop time that we're sort of looking to target. As a reminder, for those of you who aren't ACC heads, the pit lane is a good place to lose time in a race, because you have to play the mini game of stopping in your box perfectly. Because if you don't do it, the car has to be pushed back, or possibly you might need to drive the car forward, put the car in reverse, do whatever, but that will negate or lose you time.
It is a mini game.
Yeah.
Especially when you switch car, because some people like me sit in the C with the wheel, the in-game wheel in front, so that's how I sit. Some people, when they do their pit stop, they'll switch to hood cam, because then they can line the front of their car up with the triangles on the lollipop man, if you want to call if that's who he's called, and you've got to line the front of your car up with one of those triangles that then just lifts you straight up in your box. If you're out, it will move you and then lift you, and sometimes it will move you, drop you, and then lift you, which is very annoying, because that's like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's I would sort of say it's realistic, but also not entirely, because it's not pixel perfect in real life, but it is expected to be pixel perfect.
Yeah.
Les
it
Stevenson,
can make or break your race.
The Rauka Pauka is on the back of Marion Sathsara, and down the straight, I have to admit, it doesn't look as like it's standing still. It actually looks quite quick, as Satsaraman forced to do a bit of an error, and in through goes the Ginetta of Les Stevenson. So very tidy, very clean, up to 28th overall, which is 14th, maybe? 12th?
Oh,
I see it.
I
see it. A big red bit of numbers and letters.
And gone.
Oh no. Oh, I'm not even sure.
So
was.
that was speeding in the pit lane heavily, either entry or exit. So it was a stop and go 30. And instead of returning back to the garage and then leaving the server, I think they just shut the whole game down with the old F4.
Yeah.
Because by the time we saw it and was about to say something, yeah, we're gone. Which, I mean,
good thing we saw it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rage quit, but a stop and go 30 is pulling into pit lane. That is stopping at your box, sitting stationary for half a minute, and then continuing the race. It's not like a drive-through. It is basically like two drive-throughs.
Yeah, and you also don't know that you don't know you get the penalty until you leave the pits.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I'm not up for rage quitting, but in that circumstance, fair enough. When you've got 57 minutes left, and like you say, that's an extra. It's basically an extra pit stop. You do not need to do. You do not gain tires. You do not gain fuel. You sit there.
Yeah. You cannot perform service on the car. That is against the rules. It's not like, oh, I could do my stop and go 30 and then maybe throw an extra bit of fuel in the car. Nope, you cannot.
Yeah, and you have to do it within 3 laps of getting the penalty as well. So they do. So I mean, it's sad to see, but that's why sometimes you need to practice coming into the pits if that was the issue. And sometimes,
admittedly, this
I know
is so fun to go really fast. And sometimes you don't want to stop, and sometimes you stop a little too late.
Because it's not straight. You go round a kink, and then there's the line that you need to be at the speed limit by, and it's so easy to overcook it on this track.
Yep. Here's an ammo plate trying to fight back. Yeah. This is the BMW that we saw go into the side of, I think it was Shipston maybe, in Stowe, and Emma Plate got ahead with a really clever move and then dropped back as they had another moment. When I say hold on, that was tidy. Up into
another one.
Around Village. For a moment, yeah, that's one of the Maseratis with lens that's now got to stop and go 30. My hope is they continue on.
They have continued.
Oh, we get to listen to it now. Now that it's on his own, hold on, can we just... Mr. Beautiful Broadcaster, thank you. Oh, you know me so well. Just a really good sounding car. It, to me, sounds very, very similar. I'm gonna start like it to me. It sounds to me very much like the current Mustang GT4, which is not in this set. It's got a bit more of a higher pitch, that sort of Italian design of an engine. Downshifts are ferocious. It's kind of a slow gearbox. I did a lot of research on this car because I was obsessed with it when I found it.
Sounds like a really angry steam. Like you're shoveling coal into this thing to get it going. It's like yeah.
It doesn't sound like a well-tuned,
no, it
racing engine with its double clutch gearbox. No, this is like a slushy, sequential V8 monster. This is a V8. This is the Maserati Gran Turismo.
I forget this is a V8.
Car. Yeah, it's a Ferrari derived. It's a 4.6 liter V8, I believe. And it sounds phenomenal, and I'm glad we finally get to hear it because it's not in traffic, which, for better or for worse, is about to be in the middle of nowhere after they're stopping. It sounds good, and it's just like, I just feel like this car was just thrown together. The fact that this thing exists is hilarious. The interior just looks like the actual car. They just chucked a Sparko wheel on it and went, yeah.
That'll do.
That'll do. And it did. It has. It wasn't that competitive. Wasn't that competitive in real-life competition.
Stop and go.
Yeah, it wasn't as competitive as maybe it wishes it was, but it was still raced up until, I think, about 2018, from my memory, though this car was basically built in 2008 and unchanged. So it is a 2016 car in ACC, quote-unquote. It's not the best sounding car on track, according to Ash Bibby, as he puts his vote forward for the Nissan GT-R, a twin-turbo, hermetically sealed, factory-built V6. We're giving the benefit of the doubt, Ted. Let's have a listen.
Okay.
I just hear gearbox. I'll be honest. All I hear is gearbox.
So, I think we need to listen to the V12 on board.
Let's take a tour of the engines, and then after that we get to listen to the Lamborghini. It does sound good. It sounds like a race car. It sounds like a highly strong... This sounds the exact opposite of the Maserati. This sounds like a race car that was built by engineers and not an engine that was built by Italian craftsmen.
So
as the Aston Martin Vantage V12, I think, should be next on the chopping block of voting. I feel like we now need a vote. Yeah, anybody who's in the YouTube chat, you can suggest what you think the best sounding car is.
That's not a V12.
Slightly incorrect. That's actually That's actually a that's fun fact. That's actually a Maserati V8 that is in that Aston. Or sorry, not a Maserati V8, a AMG V8.
Scream!
It doesn't sound as good feeling on board as I was expecting.
It's like the Mustang though, the Mustang GT3.
It does sound good on the downshift though. Super heavy, high-pitched 12-cylinder noise. Oh, the crackle!
Crackles, yeah.
Wow, I actually am a big fan of that. Okay. This is actually the first time I maybe have ever heard this car and seen this car, so already a big fan. Rybecky, though, with Connection Lost Racing, we're on board with it now. Currently 15. I believe everybody, except for a select few, have taken their first pit stop. Everybody in the GT3 field has, so this is the current positions. I also only just noticed the team name for Will Stevenson's car. He's gotten the point. I'd rather.
Do you want to hear the funny thing, Jack? This sound you're listening to, or this V8, yeah? In this game, you're basically now in a Mustang.
Really?
They use the same sound.
But what I'm hearing is actually the Mustang sounds like the Jag.
Yeah.
It sounds very nice. It sounds good.
They took the Jag V8 for the Mustang because they couldn't get it in time because they wanted to release it.
Fun fact. This game made 16,000 years old. It was designed in
when
the
we
Cretaceous
first jumped
period.
into the Mustang, we were like, "This sounds familiar."
And this looks familiar. It's Joe Dauber trying to overtake somebody. Dauber went very long on his stop. Yeah!
Well, that's what you get for the fastest hands in the West.
That was really, really, really well held.
I mean, that's what makes second corner.
Yeah, I'm sure that stewards are very excited about that. Now we're on our next tour. The Dream turbocharged V6. BMW. I agree. It's just a car that makes a noise.
I drove this for a little endurance, and I was drifting off to sleep driving it. It's comfortable to drive.
I call it the grip machine. Ash Bibby would like everybody to know this is the first car he drove in ACC. You want to know the first car I drove in ACC? The Jag.
Jag.
I went through the car list and just was like, that's the coolest one. I'm driving that. Little did I know it was the slowest car in the game. And I mean, I was new, very new, but I was wondering why it was as slow as I actually was. And I was informed later on that it was the slowest car in the game.
Since we're going around all the cars, we should listen to the M6.
Yeah, I think we should. Because that was back when this car, or well, this was a point where the GT3 car had a V8. I think that's spicy. I think that was Tito Roscam, but this was the last V8 engined GT3 car that BMW's had.
That's race car noise. Compared to the M4 we just listened to, this is race car noise.
It's sort of low, growly,
and also look at the wheel.
Crackles and bangs.
Look how different that wheel is compared to
buttons on it
nowadays. No.
This is helmet cam view. Actually, there's a fair few buttons on it.
Where's the front of the car? Well, it's somewhere.
So walk 30 feet. It's there. It's very long nose car. This actually reminds me a lot of the AMG GT in terms of shape. It's sort of got that cutout that the AMG kind of has. I'm enjoying it. There's a race on, by the way. We're just talking about race cars. Reminiscent.
Nico Kumpu has the fastest lap, I just noticed as well.
He does. He took that from.
That is a fast lap. A 57.850. That is the only car to get to the 57s.
That's a V8. I forgot how great.
It's loud.
I forgot how great the Lexus sounds in ACC. This is by no means what this car sounds like in real life. From the ones that I've heard.
No, it's very loud in this.
It sounds really nice, and it's going really nice for Matek. Excuse me, a little bit of a nudge between the two, but Matek in fourth. As we now, I think we've gone from 7 different cars on the top 7 to now 8 different cars on the top 8 in GT4.
I think we should listen to the track day car.
The track day car. It just sounds like a road car because it is.
So
I mean, all the GT4s are road cars.
It is so different from all the other GT4s. I believe it's louder.
Let's see. SC.
Like it's a higher pitch than the other cars.
It sounds like, you know what it sounds like, because it's what it is. It sounds like those hoodlums that take the exhausts off their 3
The raspy, yeah.
It sounds raspy is a good word for it. But yeah, it just, yeah. The weird thing is, you hear a little bit of gearbox whine, but it's not nearly as pronounced as it is in a lot of other cars.
No.
But it's mostly just engine and exhaust note. Ash Bibby would like to point out that he's got the air conditioning button. Ash Bibby, fun fact, all race cars have air conditioning. Otherwise, the drivers would explode. I'm actually pretty sure that I don't think it used to be this case, but I think that air conditioning is now mandatory, or has been mandatory in race cars, because it's a safety concern for drivers to get overheated, dehydrated, heat stroke. Because ultimately, here comes V12 on the way through. If they're just sitting in really hot boxes for multiple hours at a time in terms of endurance races, and even in sprint races, very hot. I've never driven a race car, and if you have a race car that you'd like me to drive, let me know, because I'd be happy to do it if I must. But I've heard it's a really, really hot, really, really loud box.
You're also
So,
in like full race gear as well.
also very good point. A plain flameproof suit and a helmet, and gloves, and very tight shoes.
So just looking at these pit stop times, Martin, Lorenk, and Theo got
Dauber's having a look.
Roscan.
Hold on 1 second. Into the loop. Dauber saw his sort of moment there and just squeezed on through. Hugo Gomez making up another place. I wonder, I'm sure you might tell me this, since speaking of pit stops, did Dauber repair his car at all?
He did a 1 minute 10, so that's at least 4 seconds over what everyone else did. But I'm not too sure because that front end is still scratched.
Yeah, it does look damaged, but it doesn't look slow. Because I think he's going to go for another one here. Lambo, the tricky to drive Lambo. Dauber immediately putting on a bit of a squeeze.
But you can just repair. Oh dear.
Oh, he's got deep though.
That's the track limit.
I think so.
You can just repair mechanical damage rather than body.
Oh, okay. So if there was any sort of... Okay.
Okay. So I've just noticed Badowski is 4th, which was 2nd but has dropped back 2 more places. Roscoe is now 2nd with the Lexus in 3rd. Lorenk and Roscoe both did a 1 minute 5.6 in the box.
Oh, this is Badowski losing one of said positions. Getting a bit of a misjudgment in traffic, it looks like. Sort of was like, oh, I'm going to go around the outside. Yeah, he said, I'm going to go around. Had a bit of a better view and said, no, inside's the way to go.
Because so I see Nico Kumpu did a 1 minute 8.6, Aaron Jackson did a 1 minute 8.1, so they're probably maybe not got into the box properly, like we said before. You have to be pixel perfect, maybe got moved and lost a few seconds there. McKenna McConnell 1 minute 15.7, probably repairing damage. I would say most likely that's 10 seconds difference. Tom Shipston a minute 11 as well. Will Stevenson a 1 minute 11 in the Jag. Wojciech Rybecki a 1 minute 32.8. That's definitely repair of damage.
I remember we saw a couple of cars have a couple of moments with boinking into and off of back other cars. I don't remember if that was one of them that we saw that had a bunch of damage, but that is a fair bit of damage repair.
It is, yeah.
Badowski's trying to make their way through traffic and back up onto the podium. McKenna McConnell being overtaken by Joe Dauber. They both hold it.
That was from earlier.
That was the moment from earlier. Of course, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That was the moment into Abbey that they both held supremely well.
So, I do.
Nobody can hear what Ash just said, but he said, "I thought you were professional." Very snide voice. Just wanted to set the record straight.
Kerrigan
getting a kiss.
Yeah. So there's 2 fights in GTE 4s at the moment. Callum Kerrigan and Martin Schaefer. Very, very close, as we see on screen right now.
Yep.
Schaefer does get through, though, in the Maserati. The number 9 AMG has done their final stop, by the way, Jack. They're in the pit lane and they are leaving / have just left. So different strategy. I think they had a problem earlier on. I can't remember if they got a penalty or something. Because they are right at the back of the field, quite far up. By the looks of it, 60 seconds and climbing from P31 overall.
Yeah, and that could, I mean, Tassara is several laps down, but it could mean of that fight, maybe another position or two gained when the others have to stop. Kevin Boss, who has had a day, a tough day on circuit. He started with not being able to grid up, starting from pit lane, possibly not having enough fuel in the car, having to stop early, and several more stops besides. I'm wondering if there's some sort of technical issue on his end that's causing him to be multiple laps down, because he's not and I say this only because I drive with Kevin a lot, and he and I joke about which one of us are faster. He's not the quickest guy in the world, but he's not 5 laps down.
No, but I was gonna say it wouldn't be a Kevin race without
2 laps
something
down from the
going
GT4
wrong
race
with
lead.
Kevin.
Also,
There's always something that happens, bless him. And I did see before he got teleported back to the pits on the formation that he did move, but he just was too slow. There's comes to a point where once you're out of your like designated box sort of area, does a countdown for 30 seconds, and when it hits 0, that's it. So if you are 15 seconds left of the time and you're way far back and you can't catch up, you will just get teleported from wherever you are on the track. So it's a shame to see that happen. It's very, very rare we see that. So
yeah, and I have to say, for the top 10 in GT3, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that anybody outside of Martin Norenk is in the same position or has been in the same position as they started. I think everybody at some point has been in a different overall race position, because it has been an absolute scramble in the top 10. It's been electric.
We've had all the fights happening, and then the pit stop times being all over the place. They are nowhere near the same as each other. You know, so it's, you know, people losing time on fights, people losing time because of damage, people losing time either getting into the pit box. It's so crazy when you get races like this. But Martin Norenk still 2.1 seconds ahead of Roscam. Looking at the last lap times, Roscam was 2/10 quicker than Lorenk, so we'll have to wait and see. But I do know this Porsche. This is the newer Porsche. It does.
Do you know the designation?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
It's weird. I almost feel like I can hear your keyboard typing.
No, I'm not typing. It's the Porsche 992 GT3. Thank you.
Oh, 992.2 actually.
Well,
is it the 92? No, it is
it's the 992.
It's the 2.2. Well, there's the 992, 992.1, and the 992.2. See, you cannot outflame me on.
I don't know if that's what it's called in this sim though, Jack.
But that is what it is based on. It is the 911
yes.
990.
But
I was going quick, and in our search to find the best sounding race car, so you can't count the Porsche. It is utterly distinct in itself. The rear engine flat 6. I've become a bit numb to it just by the sheer volume of Porsches, and they all sound like this. This and the Cup car basically sound the same. There's so many of them in so many different series that it is a great sound. But I've sort of become numb to it, and it is not the best sound. It's my opinion. Just like it. I do not speak fact, but my opinions are mostly correct. This is the. I think. You know what I think this is? I think Ash is trying to prove me wrong. But this isn't a 911.
Yeah.
This is a Cayman. This is a mid-engined flat 6, possibly a V6.
And also it's a GT4, so it's going to sound different anyway.
Yeah, this is the platform that they decided to use. They didn't go for the 911 for the GT4 car. They decided to go for the Cayman, which has now become the 718. It's no longer called a Cayman, which I think is weird. And Mario Sergio is in 6th in their class. And I feel like a fair few of the GT4s, fairly quiet race, fairly uneventful, except for the myriad of GT3s that have come roaring on by. But I'm trying to think.
I was about to say, I was just looking at my timings. the old men are going to be fighting again.
The old men on the golf course trying to beat each other up. I mean, let's be honest. A Jag and an Aston Martin, those are golfers' cars. As me as a Floridian citizen, there's a lot of old men that drive Jags and Astons. they are still very cool. But Will Stevenson, he was falling back a lot in the start. He started 10th, but he stayed 13th for the most part. He sort of maybe solidified whereabouts he should be in terms of pace. We still have the pit stops to shake things up a little bit more, but pace is good.
Something that could have happened, Jack, is especially around this track and quite a few of the ACC circuits, the curbs on the insides are not very friendly to the tyres. Now, we're used to LMU, Le Mans Ultimate, where you don't really have to worry about tyre pressures, it's more tyre temps. You might get a slow puncture, but that's normally from like a contact or something. In this sim, you catch a curve wrong while your tyres are not up to pressure, or you keep smashing the same curve too many times on the entry or the exit, you know, the sausage curves and stuff, you can start getting a slow puncture. And then that will really mess up how your braking goes, how your acceleration goes, especially on the rear. The fronts, it just won't grip up properly and won't brake properly. And maybe Will had that in the first stint, because your tyres aren't warmed up properly. If you don't, on the formation, you don't get them warmed up to proper temp, and you don't look after them in the first few laps, then it's going to make you struggle a lot. And it's not down to the top speed, it's just your exits and your entries into the corners, and obviously the grip through the corner, like the first corner here, where you need the grip, where it looks like Will
was on the
does have. Yeah, exactly, that's what I mean. So, because he was fighting Dalton early on in that race, and the next minute he just started dropping. It's like, oh, okay, so Aston not good, sorry, Jag not good, but actually Jag not too bad right now. But that could change in the next 10 minutes, where he might be smashing the curb to try and get a better entry, or get the entry in, smashing the curb, trying to get a better exit. But yeah, it's such a pain in this game, but it's realistic.
That was maybe a little bit too confident on the brakes.
Yeah.
I'm awake now. Not that I was asleep.
But yeah, it's always something when I drive that sticks in the back of my head. Don't destroy the tyre. Don't get a slow puncture, because you try and work the pressure back in by trying to use it on a corner, and it doesn't work. You just overheat the tyre, and it may go up, but as soon as you hit the straight, especially on this track, it just cools down. The pressure goes. You come into the next corner, and it's just not there. As we see, Niku Kumpu is in for a pit stop as well. Yeah, that's the first GT3 car in.
Yep, for the final stop. It makes sense. We're coming to that 30-minute, that final third of the race.
Final 5 minutes 50 off pit window.
Yeah, so everybody's got to be in soon. So it's going to be an incredibly busy pit lane. The pit stops were surprisingly all over the place the beginning of the race, but as we've gotten towards the end, everyone, the field's a lot more spread out now than it was, and everybody's realizing you want to run it as late as you can. Because actually, there's Will Stevenson pulling into pit lane. You want sort of minimum fuel for the end of the race. You want to be as quick as you can be. Yeah, Whittle's in just behind, but I think it's gonna. I mean, of course, with 5 minutes, that gives 2, maybe 3 laps for everybody.
I think he got moved then.
Did he press his box? Then he could lose the position to Richard Whittle as a result.
Andy Boardman is in. Picano, by the way, had an 11-second lead in the GT4 field.
And Dan, not Dan, I keep calling him Dan. Damon Wareham in the 570S, the former race leader, who we noted that he had some damage on his car, is pitting from 4th in class. He was 2nd last time we saw him, so that damage really pushing him down the order. And this late in the race, I don't think he's going to repair it. I think it's just going to be nursing the car home, trying to hold it in his best
very
position.
Tricky, yeah. It's a very tricky one. If there wasn't a mandatory tyre change, then you would think, right, don't take tyres but do a bit of damage repair, then take tyres for my last stop. But because you have to take tyres at both stops, which is annoying. I wish we could, in this sim, make it so you could take tyres at one stop and you could choose whatever stop that is. You still have to do 2 stops. You still have to take your 1 litre mandatory. And it would definitely bring the strategies a bit different. But because you have to take it at both stops, strategies are very similar. It's just when you pit, where we see now with on the timing tower, we can see Kumpu, Stevenson, and Whittle all green instead of orange. That means they've completed both their pit stops. Everyone else in the GT3 field with the orange and the 1. Badowski has just done their pit stop. Batek is in and Rossham is in as well. Laurent is still out with Jackson, Dauber, and Gomez, McDonald, and Shipston out there still as well.
Yeah, and just so it's not confusing anybody, what Ted was referring to when saying we can't make it so you can't take a tire in one stop. So in the rules, you set it so tires are mandatory to take in a pit stop, but you cannot have it where one pit stop you have to take tires and one pit stop you can't. Therefore, mandatory tires at a stop means mandatory tires on all stops. Is your ooh relating to the stop and go 30 for this man?
Yes, it is, Mr. Mays, which is so unfortunate because his Lexus is doing so, and that is a retirement. And another one.
Oh, another one on the way out of the final stop.
It's got to be that entry jack. That if we can get it on board with someone at some point, Mr. Bibby, to see, because we want to see it from the point of view coming into pit lane. If we can at all. It looks fast going in, but then as soon as you get around the kink, there is that pit limit board, but you have to be at that limit on that line. If you're over it, like these guys are, and they are way over it. I think you can get a stop and go 10, or I think it's a DT actually if you're just over, which isn't the end of the world. It's still, I think it's 30 seconds here in to out, but a stop and go 30 is your basically 1 minute 6 pit stop time. So
yeah, and I think it's when we say just over speeding versus speeding massively, I think it's like 4 or 5 kilometers an hour.
Correct.
If you are going 5 under between, because it's 60 kph, if you're going between 61 or 60.5, because they're a bit over. If you're going, between 61 and 65, it's a drive-through. If you're going 66 or 65 and over, it is a stop and go 30. I think if you speed up to a certain degree, there's a possibility you might just get instantly disqualified. I have no idea. I've never tried.
This is true. We have seen that. Funny enough, on a broadcast, found out their brake pedal stopped working. Because they were off throttle, but because they were going for a quick slowdown to have a good into the pit lane, and brake pedal didn't work. Which was very unfortunate because it worked in the corner before. But we'll see Martin Lawrence come in now because 40 seconds left on the pit window. They have to pit before it closes.
Yes. This will be a great example.
You can be in pit lane. Yeah. You can be in pit lane when it closes as long as you're in pit lane. You don't have to be in your box. But as you come here, looks fast, comes around the kink, and there is no ball. Oh, it's there.
Oh, it's 50. Yeah, it's a 50 kph zone as well for this. You have to slow down even more than normal.
Yes.
But yeah,
and Martin has one of the first.
It's a blind
corner. As well.
Yeah, it's a blind corner into that, so that's sort of what's creating
it. Emo's doing their actual stop and go, Jack.
Maybe, possibly, but it's a nice line of Lamborghini, Maserati, McLaren. It almost was Italian stallions, but.
So I have noticed, Mr. Mays. Tom Watts has just entered pit lane. That pit lane is closed. I believe they will be getting. I think it's just a penalty. I don't think it's a DQ. They did not have the white P sign next to their time on the tower. When it closed, then it was after that. So we have to wait on exit.
Yeah, we'll see when they come out. Carlos Calatiud in the YouTube chat at some point asked a very good question, which is, did they all agree to choose all different cars? No, kind of. No. So the unique thing about this, the way this was set up as well, usually there are quite a few cars that are not allowed. Like usually the V12.
It did not count, Jack.
The Jag. That's really.
So they will be getting a pen. I don't know how. We will find out in 24 minutes time.
Yeah, another stop and go 30 for the track day hero. No. But so the way this was set up in SimGrid, the entire list of cars available inside of ACC was allowed. Everybody knew that this was the finale, the sort of farewell for Monday. So everybody, I think a lot of drivers chose to run the car that they started with. I know a lot of drivers I spoke to, they're like, oh, I'm going to drive the 488 instead of the 296 because that's the first car I ever drove or the first car I ever competed with in RCI, which I think is super, super cool. And a lot of people, at the end of the day, this is the finale, this is all fun, and they're coming back to the sim for the first time in a while. Why not drive something unique? Why not drive something cool? And that has happened in force. Hugo Gomez on the inside of McKenna, McConnell, Cough, into Stowe corner. But coming down to the Vale chicane, as we know, it goes back to the left. On the outside, is Gomez going to have to stick it? It's just about stuck. It is stuck.
Switchback.
Vale chicane, maybe a switchback.
Hamilton special.
It is this is the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight after all, but I think a little bit of rubbing on the exit. They're still too wide. They're going to keep it into Abbey. We saw it go wrong early for McConnell, but it's going better now, and they're still too wide as they come for the big braking zone for Village. Gomez maybe a bit more confident on the brakes, but on the outside. But that's the sort of unique thing about this section of circuit that I love, is it cuts back on itself so many times so that, you could be on the inside for one corner, but it comes the outside for another. And it
Get out my slipstream.
Yeah, after 6 corners, that Gomez has held it, and here's Kerrigan, who's in the right-ish place. But Gomez holding on to it.
When you see that in a GT4, it is actually scary because you don't know if you're going to get hit.
True. Code Brown.
I have some sad news though, Jack.
Oh, no.
Mr. John Dalton in the V12 is not in the race anymore, and I don't know why.
Is it a mid-race internet shenanigan failure?
I would say so. There has been no mention of it anywhere in our Discord.
Oh,
that is
he's running really well.
Yeah, and was fighting with Stevenson, whereas now Stevenson just has to hold off the 488 of Whittle. So that's a shame. I hope it was not an incident, and I hope it was just like an internet problem and nothing to do with hardware or an incident with someone else.
Yeah, it's the, as I say, and I think a lot of people agree, it's the equivalent to mechanical failures.
Yes.
In real racing, where, oh no, my gearbox stopped gearboxing. Oh no, my water pump stopped pumping water. And now my engine's gonna explode. I need to retire from the race. It's the equivalent of that. It kind of isn't. It sucks for everybody that it happens to. It's really unfortunate, but it's random, and you never know that it's going to happen. Like an actual mechanical failure. I will say, good news or bad news for Stevenson, depending on how he feels. He still has a sparring partner. Word from Mr. Bibby. We were talking about it earlier. He went so fast into pit lane that he got disqualified from the race. He went a $1,000,000 into pit lane. Did Mr. John Dalton. That is, well,
I'm surprised.
You were right. It is a thing. Allegedly 100 kph plus over the line. How and why is a good question.
I'm gonna do some digging.
Okay. Send a message to the man himself and say,
yes,
was that intentional? Did you maybe have somewhere to be? But it doesn't sound like a mistake that Dalton would make, rightfully.
I mean, if you're doing 150k into that pit entry, you're hitting the wall on the outside to bounce into the pit entry.
Yeah. Sounds about right. But as I was saying, good or bad news for Will Stevenson, he still has a sparring buddy. Richard Whittle is where he was close to the back of the Jag. The slightly older but still younger of the pair, 488 Ferrari with its twin-turbo V8 versus the V8 in the front of the Jag. I remember I looked this up because in certain parts of its life, it had two different engines, two different displacements. Once I think it was a 4-liter, and then maybe it got increased to 4.5-liter. I don't remember which one is in the front of that Jag, but it's one of those. But it doesn't have turbos. That's all. Which is why it sounds really cool. News me, boy.
So he did say 100k over the line. The last word of this I can't say, but Aston stops like beep. So So he forgot how bad the old cars drive. So, and he said also we'd have issues with ACC servers not being able to be hosted earlier on since 10 o'clock this morning until like 4 minutes before this race. And so he had lack of server today, as well as 38 minutes of practice and no setup. Messed him up hard is how I'm going to say that, because it's not what he said.
It was a mess. Yes, it's a different word. A very different word indeed. One that you cannot say in Shells. That's only. Ooh, hold on. Coming out of Stowe, or coming out of Cops. Excuse me. I mixed two right-handers up. But McKenna McConnell got a really, really good run. Chico Gomez sort of got held up by the GT4 car, and the fastest hands in the West, cough cough, of McKenna McConnell coming out, but reverse has happened to McKenna, as that's the NAMG on the outside, so that's giving the run back to Gomez. This fight between the two, equal machinery, equal skill, I'd argue, and they're coming back at it again in the same bit of circuit that it was just a few laps ago, but this time McConnell seems to have it and is holding it into the Vale chicane, so possibly job done, but between the two, I have a feeling not really. This is
What's happening here with the track day?
I see. That's Andy Boardman into the back of Henrik SC, and Henrik was, I think, letting a car that was a lap ahead go through and sort of came back onto the racing line under braking. Boardman wasn't expecting it. Boardman was actually probably anticipating needing to go a bit deep, and to the back they went. Here's Joe Dauber and Bruno Fantazzi.
Oh.
I would call that turning in as if the car wasn't there, which leads me to believe they weren't aware that there was a 488 on their inside. So, Dauber, though, with a damaged car, still in 6th.
I just want to point out that Martin Lorenk is now 7.5 seconds in front of Roscam. So I think Roscam hurt their rear tyres a little bit. As I was saying earlier, the Porsche is heavy on chewing its rear tyres a bit. So as long as Laurent keeps it going, that is job done. 15.5 minutes left with these three fighting for 7th place, as we have a replay with Anton in the I was about to say Mustang in the Maserati with the Nissan on the outside.
I think it was maybe just a little bit of a bump of contact.
Yeah.
That triggered the system to go, hey, they ran into each other. I don't think it was anything worth worrying about. As is customary on Mondays, and we're getting to the end of the race, I have an obligation that, of course, I've neglected, as is customary on Mondays, and that obligation is to thank our wonderful partners, and the other obligation is that cars will start fighting when I begin to do that. And some of our wonderful partners that deserve thanks, that help us run the things we run here on RCI, as of course the two-way fight has become a three-way fight. Of course, Tom Shipson's not going to make a move, and I'm going to have to stop talking, but we'll carry on for the moment until I need to shut myself up, or Ted needs to shut me up for something to happen. But to start our list of partners, I will shout out Coach Dave Delta. All these drivers driving setups. We heard John Dalton didn't have a setup. Boy, howdy. And where he could get a setup that would help him with climb the sim racing leaderboard, and that is with our partner, Coach Dave Delta. Not just setups, but coaching services involved and different apps that can help you track your data and get that little bit quicker. Ready Set Sim is the place to go if you're interested in some new gear and building out your dream setup, or more realistically, the setup you can't afford. And in partner with that, if you're looking for direct drive hardware, Ozer Racing, perhaps, their hardware is super well built, super well priced, and unbelievable quality, unbelievable value. They are great stuff. If value is your game, then the name, we'll say, is Green Man Gaming. They are a marketplace for PC games where oftentimes there are superb deals, not just seasonal sales, not just anything. On any given day, you can go and get a super good deal on some great PC titles, including hot new releases, Hymax. If you are interested in joining the realm of VR sim racers or just VR in general, they have incredibly great high-resolution headsets. He didn't stick it around the outside. That means I can keep going. Wait, he's got to run down to the Vale chicane. Does Shipston maybe on the brakes? Don't do it. I'm busy. Give me like 30 more seconds. He didn't do it into the Vale chicane, which means I can continue. Climax, super high quality, incredible resolution VR headsets. You have a special discount code with them. It's found in the link in the description, which is where everybody, all the information about all of our partners is. The V8 in my ears. Last thanks to Motorsport UK for having us as a recommended list of esports communities. Esports communities. Yeah. So thank you to all of our partners for keeping the lights on, occasionally sprinkling some pennies into the RCI bucket, and helping us do what we do here at RCI. And now, Ted, we can focus on the racing at hand.
We can. We've got two fights. We've got Nico Kumpo and Badowski for third place at the moment, podium position, and we've got Shipstone on Gomez as well. So things are heating up with 11 minutes and 45 seconds to go. I think the GT4 field are quite spread out at this moment in time. So we'll keep an eye on that anyway. Meccano, time has dropped to Andy Boardman, so there could possibly be a fight there towards the end of the race with the Alpine and the Aston Martin, but we are focusing on these two drivers here, still side by side. It's very good racecraft so far. I probably cursed that already, Jack, and it's probably going to end up in tears, but they can blame me later.
They will. They will. I remember we were doing the 6 hours of spa yesterday. We had a long conversation about the commentator's curse and the reality of it. We did. It's that commentators are never. It's never a boon to drivers. It is only ever a curse. So they're doing great for the moment. Still a little bit of traffic. We just
accidentally predict the future. We just.
I hope not. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. They're doing great. I'm gonna keep saying it because what's gonna happen is they're both gonna keep doing great, and then it will be disproven, and I won't be known for cursing. I cursed probably 6 people on.
There is a fight there in the GT4 class actually, with Hendrick and Sander in the Porsche. Mr. Track Day is coming back with the 6.7 on the side of his car. Just noticed.
I'm surprised we didn't notice. That. That's not going to be the last mention. The mention of that number on the side of that car. As long as it shows up, I'm sure that our special guest will appreciate that exact joke next time. Nico Kumpu has found themselves from 16th up to 4th with the fastest lap, now bearing down on Marco Badowski's Audi in the closing 10 minutes. It's a little bit hard to believe it's already been an hour and a half, but
it's gone really quick today, Jack.
It's been a phenomenal race, and it's not done until the fat lady sings, or more realistically, the guy with the checkered flag waves the checkered flag into the Vale chicane, fighting as we've seen all day long, all night long. Nico Kumpu is close, but not close enough. Henrik SC going too wide with Van Counter in.
Oh, the understeer. You see that, Jack? Understeer in the GT4 cars are crazy.
They just don't have the downforce of the GT4.
Made it work, though.
Made it work, indeed. Tidy move, right place, right time. That is the... that is the leader in GT4 is Picano in that Audi there that we see, and it's still Shipston on the back of Gomez. If we've learned anything about Henrik Gomez today, is that they are, or Hugo Gomez, I don't know who Henrik is, Hugo Gomez in the BMW, they are not an easy driver to get past. McKenna McConnell, cough, had to work for laps to get through. It seems that Tom Shipston's no different. But, I mean, the laps are counting down, Ted. There's an opportunity here that Hugo can end this race in 8th ahead of Shipston. He's doing a great job.
They're all catching each other now, Jack. Towards the end of the race, always happens in ACC with the GT3s. GT4 Audi getting way out of the way for these two fighting now, so let's have to see what happens. I know Ross Cam is now thinking right now, I just need to hold onto this car and not fall back to Badowski. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left of this race.
Yeah,
as Kumpu goes for a send. Oh, it's close. That's as close as you want to get.
That's just a tiny touch, but not enough to upset either car.
Watch out, Callum.
Hey, Callum again getting involved with the fight. He said
he's
not
out
touching out the 10-foot pole. Yeah, he said my Janetta is happy right where it is. He said, oh, have fun. He goes so on the back of the Audi, and there's not overlap, but overlap's being given.
Oh, the drift!
Oh,
what a catch!
Abby. That is Nico is a multi-time Monday champion, overall quick as heck human being, and he's going for it again. He's got him a little bit of a touch on the exit, but into the loop, and now to the kink of entry, and onto the Wellington straight. It does seem that the Ferrari has the legs on the straight, which is good news for Koku, but he's gotten it done.
Got 4 more laps to go because Martin Orenk is coming up to the start-finish line. 6.5 minutes left to go. That is just over 4 laps left of this race. So these 3 fights in the GT3 class haven't got long left to go, Jack.
Yeah, and I think Joe Dauber, because ultimately, whether he's thinking about it or not, I almost guarantee he is. I also just noticed that this is the Rebound Racing Seniors edition of their cars. That's lovely. He is comparing himself to Nico Koku. They're both Rebound Racing. They're both in the 488. They both started at the back of the field. As of round 1, Koku's shown him up a little bit. Dauber says, no, I need to at least get in the top 5. Shipston having a look, having a sniff, having a send, but not quite. Variably bump drafting at the exit of Luffield, but it just doesn't seem that the.
I think
I was about to say it doesn't
legs.
seem that Lexus has the legs in the straight, but he does. But
it's the corners. It's the corners where it lets us down. But if they can get Hugo on the wrong line like they just did, because Hugo had the inside for turn 1, which you don't want. You want the outside to hit the apex and then go wide again, and they made it work. Lexus is through. Now can they hold on to it for the remainder of this race?
Yep, and we'll see. Because Shipston was on the back for a while, being faster and overtaking is 2 different things. It sort of lends us to believe that Shipston's gonna walk away a little bit. Doesn't have long to do it, but it's gonna be tough for Gomez to take that back. But you are right, when you said that towards the end of the race, everybody sort of gets to each other all of a sudden. It's almost like there's rubber banding for the cars behind to catch up to the cars ahead. Is everybody suddenly on top of each other? We've got Whittle and Stevenson. They've been biding their time for a while. We've got Dauber and Jackson, and as we just saw, the result of Shipston and Gomez. 4 minutes to go, and still plenty for us to scratch our heads and think it out and see. Martin Lawrence, though, at the front of the field, lap 1 to lap 43. He's got it, and I think he's going to hold it.
Just seeing a GT4 and the number 9 Lens has just done a pit stop. 32 seconds, or 31.3 seconds, sorry. So that's for fuel, I would say so, Jack. Unless it's Yeah, that's for fuel. What am I on? Unless it's for
Emergency
drive.
splash.
I don't know if drive-throughs show up on last pit stop. Yeah, so drive-through for track limits.
Yep.
I was about to say we haven't seen one yet, but we haven't looked that far down the list because obviously we've been up at the GT3 fights. So that is the only, so far, the only drive-through for track limits. Now, I think a few of these guys who are really pushing it are on at least 3. 3 is the max, the 4th one is your drive-through and then it resets it again. So
yeah, I've always been told, or I know some drivers who refer to track cuts as freebies. You're given 3 freebies.
yeah,
use them.
It's true, especially at this time in the race. If you've got none,
go for it.
Yeah, you can try and go for it. You've got to be careful though, because sometimes if you go a bit too fast with the track cut, say Maggots and Beckett's, it might just slap you with a drive-through. So you've got to be very careful of
We're not
how
saying
you
to cheat on purpose, but if you are maybe not pushing as hard because you're worried about getting track limits and you have a bit more in the tank, that's when you go use your freebies. I'm not saying, oh, look, I'm not saying if Richard Whittle has no track limits to then go, this corner up ahead, I'm going to cut it and cheat. That's not what you're going to do.
Don't cut the corners wherever you take, is what I say. Because
if you maybe want to go a bit quicker, get a bit of a better lap time, even though it technically doesn't count. Your lap time doesn't count when it's invalidated by getting a track cut. You know, they're freebies. Do with them as you wish, but don't. You only get 3. It's not 3 strikes and you're out. It's 4.
Roscam has dropped back to 12 seconds now from Lawrence, so he's saving his tyres to not destroy them. Kumpu has now gained 2.3 over Badowski, so Badowski is struggling. Jackson's got away from Dolber for a 1.5, could be traffic in that as well. So they've started moving out a bit apart from these two. These two are now really fighting within less than 4/10 of each other. Now they've got another lap after this one, or I believe. Maybe actually another 2. As Martin Lawrence, he's gonna be doing another one.
Yes, we're getting ready to wave the white flag on round 1 of 8, and as the schedule stands next week, we'll be going to Alton Park, then to Spa-Francorchamps, then to Snetterton, then to Barcelona, then to Donington, then to Card, and we end the season at Brands Hatch. Next week is going to be one of our heat races, where it's going to be 2 30-minute races instead of just 1, which will be fun. We did that in the Cup Car Cup most recently. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Drivers were kind of mixed on it. Ted, I know that you were kind of mixed on how you felt about the heat races. I think they're cool. They're fun as heck to watch.
Driving that Ferrari challenge, I wasn't up for it, but when I actually did it, I was like, actually, that was alright, because it's such a workout in that car, and you know, it's a bit easier in these cars because you've got TC and ABS, and the brakes work for the most part,
except for the Aston, as we know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of them. I think at Alton Park it's quite nice to split it into 230s because you get onto the GT4s and it's gonna be crazy. Whittle's just done him. It's like Will just said go through.
Yeah, I will be completely honest with you. I was looking at the schedule again to see what we have to look forward to down the line, and
Will's. Fuel. He's underfueled.
He's running out of gas. His wiper is
he's
on as well.
He's done. Oh no.
Oh. He was doing so well. I wonder, is he gonna have to? There's 2 options: emergency, take a bit of fuel, or I think what he's doing is just saving to make it. He's sort of going on off on the throttle.
Because Martin Lawrence is on the
he does have 30 seconds to MO plate behind him, so he does have a lot of room to. Dauber got through on Jackson as well. We've missed it both. Everything's going to happen. Here's the move. It was into Brooklyn's. He's got the inside.
Oh, that's not an overtake. That was a push pass.
That was a push. Yeah. I mean, Dauber was alongside.
Excuse me, sir. I would like to take that from you.
I think that was
Martin Lawrence is coming up to the finish line and will take the win in the GT3 class at Silverstone.
Stellar drive. Perfect drive. Almost. Well, I'm not going to say almost. I'm going to say yes, perfect drive. That's a GT4 going down pit lane. They need fuel for the final lap. See where Roscam comes across the line in second, barely. Nico Kumpu, maybe this race was a few minutes longer. Possibly a second place.
Roscam's struggling with those tyres. Told you. I'm going to say...
I didn't disagree.
Dying. I'm just saying, Jack.
He's right. And Joe Dauber coming along in fifth. The other back row stormer, Aaron Jackson, sixth for the moment, though there may be a ticket that is opened and sent to the stewards about the move from Dauber. I don't know. I can't say. I have no idea. But McKenna McConnell got off this time.
I've
coming across.
Will Stevenson is getting overtaken by GT4s.
Oh, he is. But look at the gap to Emo Plate. He's still good in 11th at the moment. Shipson 8th. Gomez 9th. Richard Whittle is going to get it in the top 10. Oh, that gap is way smaller than 20 seconds.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
See, the 71 is the car that we're looking at.
Look.
He's crawling. He needs a push. Oh, has he run out of fuel?
He's literally got no fuel. He's out. He's
run out of fuel. Somebody push him, please. Please, somebody push him. Please. Push
Martin
the Jag.
Lolling,
the Jag.
Can you
the Jag
push
deserves
the
to
Jag,
finish.
please?
Somebody please come around and push Will Stevenson.
He will finish last in the GT3 field.
Yep. Come on.
If someone can push him to the line.
Martin, please.
Martin, come back!
Martin, please. Somebody please come and push him.
Hold up. Martin, stop. Martin's
putting in reverse. Martin is putting in reverse. He's going to help. No, he stopped him. He's parking in front of him. He's gonna push him. I think he's gonna get the car turned around and push him. In the GT4 field, though, Sebastian Picado has crossed the line in first. Boardman has taken second. Every other GT4 car is finished, and yes, this is it's beautiful. Martin Lorick has realized his buddy is out of fuel. He said the Jag must finish. Everybody respects the Jag, and here comes the AMG
there's Kevin
support.
Boss.
A tear must be wiped from my eye. This is the most beautiful thing I've seen.
I think we.
Kevin Boss
okay, Kevin.
Is given the conga line to the end.
Poor Will's cars squirming everywhere.
No,
oh no!
No, it's got a bit wrong, but he's still
Kevin.
got the steam. Kevin's gonna finish the job that Martin Lorick started. The Jag is going to finish its race in last, as if he won the race. That's what I'm talking about the Jag. Everybody respects the Jag. Everybody loves the Jag. If you were driving a Ferrari, nobody's gonna push you. That's probably not true. Someone will probably come.
Oh, there's that disqualification at the bottom of that board, Jack. Oh, we missed it.
Yep. Well, my question is, where did what GT4 was it that
he got 130 second penalty.
Oh,
that's what you get if you don't do your pits.
That's really
your mandatory
big.
pit stop. He just missed it. That's how close he was. Literally a second, because as soon as it went 0 and disappeared, it showed up P on the timing tower. He just hit the line. He was just, because we've had people do that before where they've crossed it just as it's gone 0, but they've got in, which is fine because it counts. Yep. And he was just it could have got caught up in GT3.
Fine margins. Fine margins, as they say, ladies and gentlemen. But the results of round 1, starting with the GT3 car, with the hero of the day at this point, now pushing the Jag across the line, is Martin Lorick in the M6 GT3, showing that the old dog has still got some fight. Thibaut Roscam crossing the line in second. Nico Kumpu, who we will be speaking to in a moment, with the fastest lap coming from 16th up to the podium position. That is a mega drive from them. Marco Badowski in the R8, dropping back to 4th from the qualifying of 2nd. Still, very, very solid result. Joe Dauber starting from 15th up to 5th. So not quite as good as his other rebound racing counterpart, but still absolutely incredible to come up that far. Aaron Jackson, 6th. McKenna McConnell, cough, in 7th. Tom Shipston, 8th. Hugo Gomez, 9th. Richard Whittle is in 10th. Emo Plate is in 11th. Wojciech Rybecki, 12th. Will Stevenson needing a push from a friend to get across the line in the Jag, but ladies and gentlemen, the Jag got there in 13th. Andrzej Batek and in 14th. Micah Moore in 15th. And Matt Sterling in 16th with that sort of odd, moment we saw. They just sort of went left instead of going right and into the wall. It was the very early retirement that was strange. And John Dalton with the disqualification with the pit lane of the century, coming in at 100 odd kph over the line and just getting bit immediately. Picano taking victory in the Alpine A110 GT4. You can tell I'm running out of juice. This race was so good I can't pronounce words anymore. We didn't get to see him cross the line, unfortunately, but they did win in style because the Jag was coming through. And it appears I've taken too long. I didn't know that was a thing. It's been so long since we've had this big of a grid. But apparently I've lost the results. But they won the race. Boardman was in second. Beyond that, I don't remember. Sorry. I'm a professional. Ted, would you like to speak to our good pal, Mr. Kumpu, who's ready to speak?
Hello, Nico. That was a hell of a drive you did today, sir. How was it from your end driving the old 488 again?
Yeah, it feels good to be back in this car, and oh man, this was fun race. It was sweaty race. I'm a bit surprised that we didn't cause any big accidents on the way.
Did you mean to start from the back? Was that your whole plan, to see how far you can get through?
Yeah, it was planned between me and Joe to set a really slow time in quali, just to be in front of the GT4 field and start from the back. And I think it was good decision. It was so much fun.
So obviously we had like the custom bob. Obviously, I think you had minus 30 kg on the car, obviously, so it could be competitive. How does it feel compared to when you first drove the car that many years ago?
It's difficult to say. Back then, I think I was running much safer setups. This was like really easy to lose on the rear. Just car ahead, and when you lift in the corner, and you had to be really careful not to spin it. So I think I was a couple of times a bit sideways in the corners, but luckily didn't spin.
We did see you do some drifting. It was a bit of heart-wrenching moment for us, because we were like, you did so well to get up there, didn't we, to have a spin. But no, congratulations on the podium today. That was one mega drive and fastest lap as well, sir. That was something I didn't expect. Martin Laurent holding the fastest lap for a long time. In the next minute, Nico Kumpu comes through, and he's got the purple number board on the timing tower. So yeah, amazing drive from you, and well done.
All right, thank you very much, and congrats to Martin Lawrence and Thibaut Roskam also for P2.
Do you have anyone you want to give a shout out to before you head off?
Well, anybody who's still watching. So big thanks to our audience also.
Well, thank you, Nico.
Oh, my apologies. I'm amped to talk to Will. Sorry.
You go ahead,
sorry.
Mr. Mays.
I'm sorry. Will, I just want you to know you are the hero of everybody in the box. It was so much fun to see the Jag around and to get a push over the line. It was just it was gorgeous. It was like the ending of a really good movie. It was just tear-wrenching at the very end. But how was it out there?
Stuff. Yeah, it was
pure cinema.
Pure cinema, yeah. It was really good fun. Obviously, the Jag's never going to be the quickest car, but it's a good laugh to drive around, and I had some good battles with it. So, yeah, it was really good fun. slightly, I forgot how quick Martin was and underfueled my car. So otherwise, I think I might have just been able to hold on to top 10. Richard pushed me pretty much all the way, and then just realised, oh no, there's one more lap. I'm going to run out of fuel. And yeah, but no, it was really good fun.
Yeah, we saw the moment with Richard behind you because suddenly he just came through on you. And we were both confused. We were like, "What?" He kind of just let him go, and we both, Ted and I, had the realization of he's out of fuel. He's gonna have to limp that thing back, but you didn't quite make it all the way. But you got the push from Martin and Kevin, and it was just I'm gonna remember that. That's probably gonna be my highlight of the season. Unless you do it again, and then maybe. Well, actually, I don't
possible.
think if you do it again, yeah, it is possible. We'll see. But have you ever driven the Jag competitively, or is this the first time you've really taken it to
not in a competitive race, as a fun and kind of like, I'm sure I did it in one of the like fun events back in the day, but not as like I've taken it towards a championship.
And normally I'd be like, "Oh, how are you feeling about the championship?" But I feel like that's a bit of a silly question. I mean, do you have a goal? Like, are you sort of thinking you're like, "Oh, I want to be, in the top 8 of the championship," or is it just go out there, have fun, result doesn't matter?
I mean, the idea is go out there, have fun. Result isn't particularly. I want a top 10 at some point. That is the aim. If I was really hoping it would come today, but then I was running 10th and unfortunately just, one lap too low on fuel. But hopefully I can get a top 10 when there's actually more than 10 people in the race as well, because it will feel a bit shallow if there's only 10.
Yeah, I foresee a good over 20 GT3 cars in a field probably more regularly. There are 26 that are signed up of the 25 that are available, so today might have been your best shot, but I don't know. You're incredibly quick. I mean, we saw you most recently in the Lamborghini showing up at the end of the season and almost taking Eco's lunch. So I know you've got it in you. I know the Jag's got it in it because the Jag's just a wonderful car. But no, best of luck as we move further into the season. And any shout outs before you go?
As always, to you guys for putting in a great show. To obviously everyone who pushed me to the line. That was really, really good fun. Just watching two people just obviously push me straight to the line was, quite awesome. And just to all the drivers, it's really good to see such a full grid today. Kevin, obviously, and Martin pushing me to the line was probably the highlight of the race, though.
Well, thank you for being here, and maybe we'll speak to you again, and more moments of pure cinema.
I'll come back for every interview. It's got to happen.
Done. You're welcome anytime. I will speak to you always, and possibly our special guest might speak to you as well.
Maybe I should just do a whole race while on stream.
We'd probably let you. You get Jag privilege because, of course, it's a Jag, and you get to do whatever you want.
Jag.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, have a wonderful rest of your night. We look
Thank
forward
you very
to
much, guys.
speaking to you next week.
Yeah, you too.
Well, from one person to the next, Mr. Boardman started P3, ended up in P2. How was that race for you in that Aston Martin?
It was pretty good. Congratulations to I think it was Picano in the Alpine. I think he backed off a bit towards the end because he was 10 seconds in front. So I don't know if he was saving fuel or he had an issue or he just thought he'd back off. But I think if he was saving fuel, I think he'd have been probably 10 seconds still in front by the end. But it was a good race. It's good to see so many people on the grid, and the GT3s all seem to overtake cleanly from my point of view anyway. I didn't have any issues, no sort of scurry moments. So that was all good.
That's what we like to hear, this nice clean racing. Now, you've been here for a long time, probably as long as I think me when RCI first started, or maybe a year after, and you've seen, in this race today, a lot of old names coming back to the sim. How is it for you to jump back into ACC? Obviously, you're not in a GT3 like you would normally were, but just to race on it, probably for the last championship we're going to do, especially on a Monday as we know it. How does that feel for you? You've been through all the updates, all the different tyre updates that we've liked and hated, and are you gonna miss doing championships like this going forward?
Yeah, the Monday Jam, for sure. Because as you say, I've probably, I don't know if I've done every Monday Champ, but I've done probably 90% if I haven't done every Monday Champ. So yeah, going back 7 years or something ridiculous like that, maybe. Yeah, it's about 7 years, I think. This game's been out.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been a long road.
So, a hell of a lot of races. So yeah, it's going to be a shame to lose the Monday Champs, but I don't know. I mean, I've been dabbling a bit in ACC Evo, and hopefully that'll pick up when eventually that gets released, and maybe have some Monday Champs with that. But yeah, see what happens. But yeah, it'll be sad to lose the Monday Champ, but it's great that so many people have turned up for this last one, and being multi-class, it makes it a bit more exciting, I guess.
Yeah, this is what it used to be like, didn't it? Back in the day, these multi-classes and the championships, this many drivers, it was never a dull moment in a race, especially being one of the slower class cars, and you've got GT3s who are fighting, barreling past you, and you're trying to get out of the way and not be a nuisance. It is some fun, and sometimes a bit nerve-wracking when they come up and they're trying to send it on you into a corner. But did you expect to finish in P2 today, or did you think you were just going to sit in P3 and sort of just?
Yeah, I was, because the first stint, the McLarens were really quick, and there's two Maseratis. Well, the guy in the Maserati, I mean, fair play to them for picking that car, because they're braver than me. I'm terrible in that car. Every time I brake in that Maserati, I just lock up. So there's no way I was picking that. But yeah, they was really quick in the first sort of 20 minutes. I don't know if the tyres maybe went off in the Maserati, but you only need a couple of lockups and that's it. Your pace drops off massively, because from when I've drove it in the past. So there's I thought maybe third, fourth. So to get second, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, great drive, mate. Are you looking forward to the next round? I think it's on Alton Park, 2 30-minute races.
Yeah, Alton Park. Hopefully. Yeah, I guess because it's a narrow track, the GT3s might only be lapping us once, because that would be, it's going to be a bit more nerve-wracking, I think, with the GT3s lapping on such a narrow track. But
imagine if it was an hour and a half and you had to go around Alton Park.
yeah, that would be it would be nerve-wracking. But yeah, I think they'll. I don't know. They might lap us twice, maybe. But it won't be as many as today anyway.
Well, great drive today, mate. Do you have anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Just you guys, and everyone that signed up and turning up for the race, and ACC as well for getting the service sorted. Because to be honest, I didn't think it was going to be racing.
Yeah, we didn't.
Well, it's going to be next week. And obviously, I just checked it. I thought I'll do a bit of practice on my own. Checked it about 7:10. It's like, blimey, it's wicked. It's been down all day, I think. So
yeah, it has since 10 o'clock this morning.
So shout out for them for switching the server on. Good for them.
At least they've done something.
Well, Andy Bourbon, starting in P3, finishing in P2, amazing race, and hope to see you next week and possibly 2 more podiums.
See what happens. See how it goes. Could be all sorts of carnage on Alton Park, but we'll see what happens.
Well, great race today, mate, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, will do. Thank you.
Mr. Damon Wareham, I appreciate your patience. We've been chatting with everybody, and it was a great race for many. For you, it seemed a bit of a struggle. Your McLaren maybe a slightly different shape than it was when it started, but overall, I mean, how do you feel about your campaign at Silverstone tonight?
It could have been better. I was quite happy to get the jump on the Alpine at the start, knowing the McLaren had the straight line to do that. I knew I wasn't going to be able to keep him behind for long, but I thought I'd put on a bit of a show, see how long I could lead the race. Bit of an incident from there gave me suspension damage, and I decided to try and run with that suspension damage for the rest of the race. So for about an hour and 15 minutes I was driving, going down the straights with my wheels slightly to the left, which made things a bit more difficult. I just about held on to P3 though, and did lose to Boardman in the first pit stop as I messed up the first pit stop slightly as well. Could have been better, but considering the circumstances, I'll take it.
Yeah, a tale as old as time with the pit stop, and I know your pain. I drove a full stint at Spa in a hypercar last night. Ted can tell you it was probably about 20. I was about 25% or 25 degrees of angle on the steering. Super uncomfortable. So hats off to you for holding on to it for an hour and 15 and holding on to P3 as well. I mean, is it sort of like putting on an old pair of boots, jumping onto ACC, and are you looking forward to the grand finale here on RCI?
It is a shame to see it go, getting back into the 570S. I've always had a love-hate for the 570S, but it is still my baby. Do love getting back into it. I last raced here about 2 years ago, so it was also nice to just get back into some league racing in general as well. Overall, the championship, looking forward to seeing if I can get more podiums. Unfortunately, I can't make 2 of the rounds, so I'm not in it for the championship, but whenever I am around, I will obviously do the best I can with this thing.
And in looking at the schedule of the rounds you're able to make it to, is there one that sticks out for you that you're most looking forward to?
See, my last race will be Paul Ricard. I can't make Brands or Spa, as I will be at work doing sim racing things instead. But Paul Ricard is one of my favourite tracks. The 570S around Paul Ricard is brilliant. I'm very much looking forward to that one. It does feel like a great send-off for me with ACC, at least in RCI.
Well, we'll certainly be looking forward to that one as well. That's our other 90-minute race, so a good hour and a half around the 1A V2 circuit, which I so love the ridiculously long and ridiculously stupid me-style straight, especially with multi-class and everybody giving each other a toe, and I'm sure we'll see some moves that shouldn't be done into the right-hander at the end of it. Maybe possibly some massive crashes, but hopefully not one that you're involved in. But I mean, we're glad to have you back in another RCI race, and it's so good to see so many new and old faces in new and old cars as well. So thank you for being here. And any shout outs before you go?
So I'm obliged to shout out my quote-unquote sponsors, the Race Centre and Sim Racing Limited. I do apologise that most of what I may have been shown on stream was in a damaged car, not showing off the sponsors too well there. But also shout out to everybody watching the stream, and of course, as everybody else has said, to you guys for running all of these wonderful events for so long.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to having you for 6 out of 8 of the rounds, and best of luck in those. Of course, Mr. Edwards, I think it's about time to close the curtain on round 1. I think it's a bit of a shame that it's 7 days till we do the next one. I think we should move up the schedule and do the next race tomorrow, because I want to do this again tomorrow. No, it's been great. It's been superb.
Yeah, honestly, it's been a joy watching it. It's one of those things. If I took part, I would have been so tired after it, because how locked in this field was in both classes today. I think I would have been as tired as I was in the Ferrari Challenge. Like, I'm so glad that I'm watching it this time, and I'm not broadcasting, so it's a little bit chill for me today, Jack.
Yeah, you get to know what I get to do most of the time. It's chill relative. It was.
Yeah. I mean, it was
great.
it was a packed race today. The fighting was amazing. Not like there was a few bumps and grazes here and there, but it wasn't like people got taken out and put into a barrier, which was very good. So that's a very good racecraft from everyone else, as we heard from Boardman. The GT3s were very good with the GT4s, which is what we always want to hear, because in the past, Jack, before you joined RCI, it wasn't that clean, and stewards had a long list of reports to go through after multi-class racing. So such a nice thing to hear from the first round. Hopefully, it stays the same for the next 7, but we'll just have to wait and
Hopefully.
see. And Alton Park next week, Jack. It's gonna
Oh
be a bit.
yeah,
It's gonna be a bit tight around that circuit. It's not as wide
yeah.
as Silverstone.
Andy took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to talk about how I'm excited for it's almost the polar opposite in terms of width. Silverstone is quite wide, one of the
Yeah,
wider
and
circuits, and Alton is so not wide.
it's
It's
and
2
it's
cars wide-ish at most
yeah.
points.
The chicanes are tight. You've got track cuts are very strict there, so probably gonna see some DTS next week.
Yeah, not a ton of overtaking opportunities either because of
There
how
isn't.
narrow it is. Like there's no, super low speed corners outside of the chicanes, but there's not long straights. And I'm excited. It will be, I think, the first time I see Alton Park on ACC that I broadcast a race of. So
Ooh.
that will be enjoyable for me. We'll of course have our extra special guest
I can't wait. I can't wait,
joining us in
Jack.
the box, I'm sure that I have a feeling, Ted, that this is not the last we're going to hear from you in the box this season, whether or
Oh, I'll be
not,
back.
because people have people are lining up to come into the box for this season.
Mm.
We've had some people that normally don't commentate that are trained and okay to do so that want to join in. So there may be some unique, either 3, possibly 4 wide in the box for a round, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be
We need
fun.
some more commentators because you never know.
That's a good
The Le Mans
point.
Ultimate
That's a
hopefully
good point.
dropping the hosted servers soon, so we can actually do
Oh,
hosted endurance
yes,
servers, so we can do some
yes.
24-hour broadcasting, and I cannot wait.
I can't wait to do the whole 24 hours. I won't. I
The
can't.
whole just me and you.
Oh, we'd switch up broadcasting duties halfway, but we never stop talking. Oh man.
Oh,
I don't
can't
I
wait,
don't
Jack.
I
Cannot
don't
wait.
drink coffee, but I might have to like drink a buttload. Oh, I can't wait for all that. There's lots of good stuff coming here at RCI, not just this series. We have our Friday series as well, but beyond that, things are in the works. We're hoping for a release. The word around the street, and the thing that I've been trying to manifest, is June for driver swaps around the 24 hours
Mm.
mall that might go public. So I'm almost certain that after that happens very soon, there will be the return of RCI Endurance is going on. Monday champs are going to go into a new era after this series ends, and signups are open for both this series, this championship, and for the Friday. I will say, full transparency, both are completely full, which is awesome. There are reserve slots available. As you saw, some drivers were missing today. If you wanted to be here and were on the reserve list, you get bumped forward and you can absolutely come and compete. It's going to be a long season, so I'm sure there's drivers that can't make every round. And if you can and you are on the reserve list, you will most likely get in. As Ted said, we could use some more commentators. We could use some more broadcasters. We could use all the people for all the things. And if you're interested in that, on the Discord, there is a server called Staff Vacancies. If you go to that with your chosen role that you would like to go for, the information is there all for you. No experience required. Believe me, they let me come into the box, so the bar is pretty low. But other than that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all the drivers. I want to say young and old, but old and new is a much better way of saying it. Who have come back. Thank you so much to all the viewers. This is going to be a really, really good season, and I'm so deeply, deeply excited and enthused about the rest of it. We will see you all on Friday for another multi-sprint where I won't be in the box for once. Everybody cheer. I will be missing the first stream in, I believe, 5 months. But it will be Ted Edwards, and there will be a very, very special guest making their grand return to the booth. So don't miss it. The multi-sprint champ has been great and will be great for that season. Have a wonderful night. We love all of you. Be good to yourselves. Go and give a hug to a random stranger. Maybe not that one. You might get maced or something. I don't know. Give a hug to somebody who deserves one. Everybody deserves a hug. So maybe do hug a stranger. Have a wonderful night. Be safe. Enjoy your week. And we look forward to seeing you all soon.
You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Get behind the wheel, let's go. Grip the road, feel the flow. Thunder roaring, steel alive. Live this dream and drive. Tires burning with gasoline. Push the limits, chasing green. One shot, don't slow. Go on, we'll take control. Engines scream alive tonight. Blazing past the red line. Outrun the night, won't lose this fight. Follow the road, red line for show. We're chasing taillights, don't let go. Under the stars, we'll go so far. This is who we are. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. We're chasing taillights. The miles they fade, but they don't die. Faster now, the hours fly by. Sweat and gears, hearts in sync. On the edge, on the brink. Clock ticks down, stakes are high. One mistake, we kiss us goodbye. Don't slow down, we're not done. Finish line for the strong ones. Engines scream alive tonight.